So, I had a little look into how long this was. It seems that we got another, I don't know if a full stream's worth of this route, but definitely an hour, maybe 2 hours, and then it seems like his house is a bit shorter, like maybe 3 or 4 hours. But yeah, I thought this was like pretty much gonna be over today, but we still got like plenty to do, which I'm excited for. Anything more of this is good, and I like. Right, load. Where were we? Is that Q? What did I just do? What is this? Oh, that's the okay. Autosave, quick save. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. I don't think I got onto page 2. No. Right. No, I don't want to over. No. I want to load. Jesus Christ! I don't want to save. Loading. Yes, that's fine. Right. What happened? Okay, we went. Oh, okay, yeah. So we went on. We went. Yeah, we skipped school. We went on a date with Suzu. Went to the cinema, see a samurai movie. What else did they do? They went to a cafe. She had a snooze. Then they went for Italian, and then she sort of like conked out, and now, and then Miki brought her home, and we're on the next day now. Walking into class, it seems like it'll be another ordinary day. Susie sits bored at her desk. Oh, let me just check the audio stuff. Right, audio good, mic good. All right, sweet. I should probably have checked better to see what the audio was like, but as long as like it's there but not overpowering me ever, it should be fine. And that seems what it is, even though the tracks are different levels. Oh, let me put my streams actually. Wait, I was gonna put uh right. Susie sits bored at her desk as she looks out the window, having joined the other early arrivals to class. With herself talking to Misha and Shizune and Haru not here yet, I stride up to her. Good morning, Susie. You look very happy. She just stares at me with that bored face of hers. Assuming I was wrong, I take another try. Depressed? Annoyed? I give up. I don't even know why I bother trying. I hop up on the side of my desk to talk to her for lack of anything else to do. Ready for the test after lunch? Test? Yeah, me too mentioned it a few days ago. She just shrugs. It's unlike Susan to forget something like that, let alone not care about it. I guess her mind's still on other matters, not that I'm completely innocent of that either. Are you still going to quit the track club? Probably. Just a matter of telling the teacher in charge, really. Don't. Do anything else you want, but don't do that. I'd like you to feel so strongly about that kind of thing. Only because you don't feel strongly enough. You've been in that club for years. Don't quit on my behalf. It's not all for you, you know. I thought you'd like seeing me a bit more. Suze just stares at me. I don't know whether to appreciate her unusual strength of will on the issue or be somewhat hurt by her rejecting having more time together. The more I stay like I am, the less I feel as if we really belong with each other, but now she acts like this when I try to bridge that gap. Alright, I'll hold off. I guess we can talk about it later. She nods simply, apparently pleased with this compromise. Come on, Susie, what's up? You're in a weird mood today. I'm fine. You should just cherish your friends more. I can't say I'm totally placated. I don't know what that word is by the response, but she has a fair point. Maybe someone like her, who rarely had many, is the best kind of person to listen to such matters. With Haru skipping into the room moments before the first teacher of the day walks in, both of them very nearly late, I hop off my desk and take a seat. Suzu really does seem out of sorts today, but that wall between her and I is as strong as ever. I don't like this music. It is sad music. With the class having returned from lunch, Mutu begins his lecturing on what today's test will cover. Little more than I thought I said retard, than a retread of what we've been taught on the current topic, with a few harder questions thrown in to check what we retained over the holidays. I might pass, though. It'll be close if I do. Hello, my visual novel friend. Hello. How you doing? I might pass, though. it'll be close if I do. In any case, that's less of a concern to me right now than the empty desk toilet. Actually, this isn't that sad of a tune, although well, it is a bit. It's not the saddest. It's like slightly worrying. The other students just walked by as if nothing were amiss, perhaps throwing a casual glance at Suzu's empty seat before writing it off as yet another episode of her narcolepsy. I'd be easy to think that way myself, if not for recent events. But I'm not the only one who knows what's happened in the past. Rumors regarding me, and by extension her, aren't hard to catch on the wind. Does everyone really think this is normal, or are they just giving themselves an excuse not to get involved? Just had to finish my Cowboy Bebop episode. I'm doing good. Oh, how are you liking it, and how far are you through it? I watched it twice, I think. It is mostly likely just another nap, but I can't concentrate at all, knowing that I have no other option. I raise my hand. Yes, Mira. I feel sick. Can I go to the nurse's office? I'll bet, his face says. He wouldn't be wrong. We two sighs, but we both know that he has little option but to let me go. It'll be a pain for him to rerun the test for my sake, but he'd have needed to for Suzu anyway. Takamichi, escort Mira down there, please. Shizune nods with Misha getting up to follow her. Not you, Mikado. I think you know why. The sting is palpable as she sets herself back down, Hisao doing his best to silently console her. Shizune walks over and motions for me to follow her out, Mutu wasting no time to getting back to his pre-test briefing. The two of us quietly walk down the abandoned hallway, the sound of one teacher following another as we walk past the field of classrooms. My body feels unbearably tense, which I had hoped would stop once I gained my freedom from class. I noticed that Shizune's pulled the notepad as she walks in front of me, scrolling something down. At least nobody can accuse us of making a noise in the corridors like this. What's the story? I really need to work on my lying. Knowing that Shizune would get the truth eventually, I decided to give up without a fight as I take the notepad and pen. Yeah, it's about that. 20, yeah. Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, like 24, 26 or something. Yeah. There's a movie as well. I want to check on Suzu. I promise I'll come straight back if it turns out to be nothing. Handing the items back, it takes her a moment to decipher my hasty chicken scratch. It's clear she isn't pleased with the proposal, but her answer after handing them back is a surprise. Go. With my mind occupied with my new goal, I verbally thank her before realizing the mistake, taking off without checking her reactions. Hey, thanks. It's not she. Okay. Yeah, honestly, like, if someone says, like, do you like it? I'll be like, yeah, I like it, but I don't... It's like an 8 out of 10 at best to me, and I watched it twice, like, 7, probably 8 years apart, so I have, like, my 16, 17-year-old brain watching it, and then my, like, 24, 25-year-old brain watching it, and both times I was like, it's like pretty good. Like the music's pretty good, the characters are pretty good, some of the episodes are pretty good, but none of it like amazes me. Nothing. I liked there was one of the Fae arc. I think it was like a 3-episode Fae arc, like around episode 10 to 13 or something. I liked that quite a lot, but everything else was just like, yeah, it's like pretty good, but I didn't go crazy for it. It has aged well, yeah. The animation and everything, the dub's really good, and yeah, the everything like that is good, but I don't know. But for the same kind of shit, the Fae arc is split all over the anime. Is it? Fair enough. I thought that was like 2 or 3 episode run of it. But for the same sort of like episodic show, I prefer Samurai Champloo. I prefer the lo-fi hip-hop soundtrack, and the characters are better, the stories are more interesting, the ending is fucking amazing. So yeah. I move as fast as I dare down the stairs and onto the lower floor, lest a teacher pull me aside to scold me for running in the hallways. I don't bother looking to this class or that anymore, only the path ahead. Like, I'm sure if you watched it in 1998, compared to everything else, was like, at the time, there really wasn't many things that were like that sort of groundbreaking or whatever. So, like, yeah, if you watched it back then, but if you're watching it today, I don't... Some people, like, watch it now for the first time and they think it's brilliant. I'm like, more power to you. I just don't really see anything incredible about it. It's good, but it's not great. They're often associated because it's the same writer, yeah. Or same director. No, I think it's same person, director. I don't know. Shit would blow me away, pretty sure. Yeah, probably. But like, serial experiments laying Ken out the same year, that's better, in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. They both have like that different soundtrack that doesn't really make sense, but it fits really well. But yeah, Samurai Champloo just hit different. A lot more fonder memory of it. I don't bother looking into this class or that anymore, only the path ahead. Emerging from the main entrance into the empty school gardens, the fresh air hitting my face spurs me into a flat run. There's little point in walking now that I'm outside, and the distance from here to dormitories isn't great. There aren't many places someone like Susie would be after all. If she were in the library, it's likely one of the staff would at least try to wake her, leaving the dormitory as the most likely place she would retreat. It doesn't take long to reach the building, taking a moment to have a breath before opening the door and heading inside. These horrid artificial lights above the entrance blare away their slightly too perfect white glare, sharply contrasting with the sunlight outside. Wasting little time, I stride through the stairwell. The quiet of the dormitory building entrance is just as present in the wing housing her room. I know it's unlikely that I'd hear her if she was indeed sleeping, but I can't help but wonder if I guessed the wrong location nonetheless. With the door shut as expected and knowing that knocking would be pointless given that she wouldn't hear it if she were asleep, I fish out for a key from my pocket and insert it into the lock. The door gives a satisfying click as it unlocks, a slight push to sending it swinging open. I have to squint a little in response to the sunlight pouring into our room. From the small window, my gaze shifted to the figure seated on the side of her bed. A glint of light catches my eye as I do. My heart stops. The girl... Uh-oh. The girl's eye looks downward with a distant stare. Her left arm rests on her leg, the palm upturned and sleeve pulled up. The point of a small I had like a very weird feeling it was gonna go this direction, and I don't know why. POV liminal rooms, yeah, for a distinct style, yeah. The point of a small utensil rests against a wrist held by her right hand. A kitchen knife. Susie is holding the kitchen knife against her forearm. My center of gravity shifts forward, my body immediately taking over where my mind has failed. I'm already almost upon her by the time Susie notices my presence, an adrenaline almost feeling to pour from my eyes, such as the amount coursing through my body. Remember, across for attention, down for results. Every motion is born of pure reflex as I come over her, my mind lagging terribly behind in comprehending the situation. Time feels to slow. As I fall on top of her, my left stump pushing her right hand outward as my bent right forearm shoved against her neck. Her dazed expression tells of her not having any idea what just happened in the last 2 seconds as we tumble downwards. Crashing to the bed, we find ourselves tangled with my hands still pressed to Susie's neck, holding her down, her right arm held against the bed with my left forearm, and all I'm left to do is stare down at her with our faces barely inches from each other. Despite unambiguously being the one in physical control of the situation, I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing. What comes after something like this? Did she like already do it? Yeah, but like, how did it build towards it? Because I had a feeling like, as soon as like the music went and she stepped into her room, I was like, oh god, has she done this? But like, I don't know. I don't really see the logical connection. But then I guess it isn't really a logical thing to do. It's Suzu's eyes that give the first indication of what happened, bulging wide as tears begin to well up. Her breath catches as she desperately attempts to keep some control over herself. Her face twists and distorts as she tries to keep a flood of emotions in, but it's utterly hopeless. Her tears overflow and begin to fall over her cheeks, first as a trickle before becoming a river. I want to say something to help her, anything at all, but I'm powerless. Even as hold myself inches over Suzu's shriveled body, the girl I love so much just breaks. All semblance of composure shatters as the dam breaks, her whimpers breaking out into wild bawling. My heart breaks as I watch her body seize and convulse beneath mine, her wailing face overflowing with tears. Everything is messed up. It wasn't supposed to be like that, Bliss. It wasn't supposed to be anything like this. I'm so sorry, Suzu. That was a weirdly brief scene. The soft breeze is cool as I sit watching the gaggle of... You don't call the group of guys, it's not the gaggle of guys over there. You only call it a gaggle of geese. This is weird though. Falling around on the track, seated in the shade of the trees lining the edge of the track area. I simply lack the energy to get up and join in. It's been a week since that terrible day. Might as well have been yesterday, as far as my memory is concerned. Image of her sitting there, knife in hand, solemnly contemplating the end of her existence with those distant eyes still make me feel physically sick. I'll never forget the scene, no matter how long I live. Hold up. Was she trying to kill herself? I thought she was just trying to slit her wrists. How do you kill yourself with a kitchen knife? That's like the worst way. Like, you stab yourself in the heart? Like, what do you do with that? I've never heard of anybody trying to kill themselves with a kitchen knife. Just, people try that? Really? Like... What? That's just weird. I don't know. Like, if you're gonna go that way, which, like, you shouldn't, but if you do, like, do it in a way where you wouldn't feel that much pain, right? Like, I don't know, I'm not gonna give advice for suicide, but I don't know, I didn't expect that. I thought she was gonna be slitting her wrist or something. But even, that's even, like, weirder than, like, I don't know, I just don't see the connection that she was that depressed. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I know like bad stuff has sort of happened because of her and what like Miki did, but I don't see the connection before, but by taking it that far, you know. I'll never forget that scene, no matter how long I live. Suzu hasn't been at school since then, with her parents having collected her. A cover story of unspecified family issues was given as a reason for her temporary disappearance, which seems to have stuck. Like all good rumors, it just had enough truth to be believable, and if you dared to ask of the girl who just flattened the guy over her, and few dare to ask questions of the girl who just flattened the guy over her. A piece of bread in his plastic wrapper suddenly dangles in front of my face. Despite not having an appetite at all, I take the packet just to get him off my back. As expected, it's Sesao who takes a seat beside me. He and Haru are the only others who know the truth beyond the teachers and staff. As for Suzu and her family, I haven't had a peep since that fateful day. I'm not hungry. I don't care. His tone is harsher than I used to. With that little fight left in me, I obediently rip open the thin packaging. I have no idea how long it's been. I'm guessing like maybe a week or two. It's kind of hard to tell. I guess that's why they do in Clannad and a lot of those visual novels, they have the date so you can see like how long's passed, but it's usually like day to day anyway, so it doesn't really like. But in this, there's definitely time skips, but they're really ambiguous. As we munch away, I can't help but say what's on my mind. It feels weird, doesn't it? Everyone else playing around, completely oblivious to what happened. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like everything diverged from that moment, with the rest of the world in a different timeline to the one we're in. Nobody treats us differently, but in a way, that's the problem. Speaking of timelines, I'm going to be reading the Steins Gate dating thing once I finish this. I don't know if I'll finish it, but I will try my best to. Since I'm in a big visual novel mood at the moment, I want to try and get through some of the ones I have. Even though I stopped playing Chaos halfway through. But it just wasn't like, I don't know, like it wasn't interesting me to read it. Like I could read this on my own with no one in chat and I would still enjoy it, and then like, you know, people showing up is just a bonus. But like with Chaos Hit, it was like, if I'm losing interest in it, then like, then there's just no point in continuing. It's like a sunk cost fallacy at that point. Like it was decent, but it wasn't like amazing. It wasn't worth the effort. As always, Hisao's the one to find words where I struggle for them. I know you lied about the relationship between you and Suzu back when I asked. Sorry, I wanted a clean slate, you know? Someone who I could deal with as if none of that crap had ever happened. I guess that's kind of impossible now, huh? Hisao just looks to me expectantly. I can't keep this from him any longer, and after the support he's given me, he deserves to know. I take a long breath, thinking back to those days. It isn't something I enjoyed doing. I suppose you gathered by now that I used to be an unpleasant kind of person. Yeah, something like that. Most of the kids who enter Yamako are pretty well adjusted, normal folk, just your usual kids who happen to have some shit luck. I wasn't like that. After I lost my hand, I guess you could pretty say I went off the rails. I got off on beating people, to put it bluntly, pretty much anyone who I didn't like the look of, but mainly those who looked down at me. I've always been pretty damn well by the standards of a. I've always been built pretty damn well by the standards of a girl or a guy. The strength was damn near all I had left, so I used it. A real delinquent, huh? Nothing so romantic. I was just a shithead bully, nothing more. Over the years, I got a reputation, one I deserved, mind you. People, she's like the Tomoyo of the of this game. People didn't stand up to me, and I could see the humility people had if they felt like they'd gotten in my way. I'm not gonna lie, it felt good. I felt powerful again. It gave me a twisted sense of accomplishment and status. But one day, I met someone who didn't know about that reputation. The day you met Suzu. I gave a nod. I don't remember everything about that day, but I do remember the way Suzu looked. She was sitting on the ground in the storage shed, could barely see her between the legs of the three girls and some guy who was standing around insulting at her. Something about the situation annoyed me, so I walked up to them and challenged the girl who seemed to be leading the little charade. That's pretty admirable, standing up for her when you didn't need to, that is. Yeah, that would have been admirable. I still don't know if I genuinely wanted to help her or if I just had a chip on my shoulder that day. In any case, the girls backed off after recognizing me, but the guy made the mistake of picking an argument. I think he was the boyfriend of one of them or something. He started going off about Suzu and how she screwed up or something or the other. I honestly didn't care that much. But then he made the mistake of insulting me. I can't recall what he said, but something inside of me tripped. What happened then? I broke him. I broke every bone in his body. Silence washes over us. Hissel leaning back as I realized the dark face I must be making right now as I remember the event. The ambient noise of people playing around ahead feels slightly surreal given the atmosphere. You didn't kill him, did you? Wasn't far off. I just went absolutely berserk on him. I don't even know if I got hurt or not. Every part of my mind was purely dedicated to destroying his body. Jesus. I mean, beats people up, but doesn't mean it. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I like. This is I don't know. It's like I get it. I expect it, but after playing as his character for like 8 hours or whatever, it's like, damn, really? Like you were that like brutal. Even though we saw it last time, beating the shit out of that dude, which is why I'm surprised like he got up and then like clocked her, because like if she was capable of this, like I was like, you're actually gonna kill her. Sane people moment, I know. If a couple of teachers hadn't found us and dragged me off the guy, I really don't know what might have happened. I take a breath to pull myself out of the moment. Isao just looks on, understandably speechless as macabre images fill his thoughts. Wait, so this was at Yamaku? So, like, was Suzu there watching? Just, like, someone get beat to death because of her, pretty much? And then she's still like, yeah, I want a bit of that. This is the first time I've told anybody this stuff myself, come to think of it. Such things tend to get around quickly, so everyone in school at the time largely knew, as rumors, if not in detail. And I thought you said Suzu, like, didn't know about it. And Suzu? I remember seeing her face as her teachers pulled me away. No, not her face, her fear. I'd never seen someone so terrified in my life. Yeah, this is why it's a bit weird. I think that was the first moment I realized what a detestable being I'd become, that someone could look at me and see something that gave them that much fear. For what it's worth, I never guessed it. You've always seemed like a pretty laid-back kind of person to me. Now that I think of it, what happened afterwards? Surely you didn't get out of that without punishment. I was pretty much set for expulsion. By that point, the staff were looking for an excuse to throw me out, and it's not like I had any friends willing to come in and bat for me. It feels like if it was that close, it feels like this is like, no, you should be like arrested for like that much violence. Like that's not just like, oh, you're gonna get a couple days detention for like killing this dude. Someone stood up for her, that can be misconstrued in a way. Yeah, like I get that, but then when they go that, like if you like. If you go up and you're like, oh, leave her alone, and then like they do, it's like, oh my god, like someone stood up for me. But then they like beat the shit out of him. It's like, yo, whoa, yo, chill. Like I didn't want it to go this far. So I feel like she would still be like shit scared of her, even if she did it like for her. It would still be like, yikes, I'm gonna stay away from that person. Like that would not make me be like, oh yeah, she's chill, like she stood up for me once. Like what happens if I piss her off? Like she could beat the shit out of me, sort of thing. This depends on how Susie perceives the situation. That's why I said depends on how she views it. Like I would say yikes myself, yeah. So I was pretty yeah. But then one day it was never mentioned again. They dropped the matter? Yeah, it was the strangest thing. It was so bizarre that my curiosity got the better of me. The staff weren't going to tell me anything, so I ended up fingering the student council for information, but not like that, or maybe like that. I'm not exactly sure. I'm sure Shizune swings that way. Turned out that they'd taken up my cause and argued that I had my reasons. That Susie was being bullied and I was defending myself after trying to argue them away from her. Yeah, not quite, but fair enough. Why would they do that though? Because a particular girl told them that's what happened? Was that Shizune? I feel like Shizune wouldn't do that. Seizing on the lull in conversation, I set about finishing the bread in my hand. His just looks out to the field ahead. Think of what I've said. So you felt a doubt to her? Oh, that's Suzu said that. Oh, I'm fucking stupid. I'm not the kind of person to worry about that sort of thing. But surely the other people would be like, no. Like, he like almost killed her. Like, she almost killed him. Like, yo. Like, it sounded like there was 3 or 4 other people. Surely they'd be like, yeah, no, it was like bad. Yeah, I noticed, asshole. Rather than a debt, it's more, I felt useful to someone. That's why we ended up hanging around each other. Suzu had no friends, so when I was around, she wouldn't get bullied and had someone to help if she had cataplexy attack or suddenly felt sleepy. Felt EP. As for me, I was a mere curiosity at first, working out why she'd done such a thing. After a while, though, I realized that I had a purpose again. I could live for Suzu's sake. That girl saved me. You shouldn't forget that you saved her. It's a miracle you got to her in time. Saved her? I did no such thing. It's my fault she even fell that far to begin with. I thought I could change. I thought that I could somehow redeem myself. In the end, it was all a fantasy. So I'm just trying to like find any logic in Suzu's like actions, and I can't quite do it. Like I get that she was like almost quote unquote responsible for someone's like very close to someone's death, and then it sort of happened again in like the scene from yesterday when we beat the shit out of that guy, and that was because of Suzu as well. So she's feeling like she's getting other people like hurt or something, but I don't see how her often herself would change that, because she would, if that happened, Miki would like spiral and she would just kill people because she wouldn't care, and she would have like no reason to live, I think, or very little reason to live, since everybody else fucking hates her apart from him. Suzu told me something once. I didn't understand why she felt about it so strongly then, but now it makes sense. Yeah? She said that she didn't believe in the concept of good people or bad people, just people who do good or bad things. Yeah. It's a kind of hopeless, naive thing she'd believe. She's lived a sheltered life after all. That's not a bad thing in itself, but her innocence because of it makes her attempts to form a worldview look childish. From the way herself smiling, she managed to get at least one believer. It would be nice to think that I'm somehow a different person to who I was those years ago, but I imagine those I hurt would have very different opinions. A buzzing sound comes from Hisal's pocket, his hands quickly diving in to retrieve his phone. He looks to me with an expression of surprise after glancing at the display. It's Tsubasa. That's the dude we beat up, I'm pretty sure. Or was that the... Yeah. Alright? Yukio Tsubasa? Or was it... Oh no, that's the sister, right? That might be the sister. I can practically hear my heart thumping away. He's tall as fuck. I think he's supposed to be like extremely average, which is why you're like... He's like a perfect insert. Self-insert. When you play as him. I can practically hear my heart thumping away as I walk through the park. While I do my best to appear casual, I don't think Hisao buys it. An offer to talk to Suzu once more finally came, perhaps unsurprisingly from her sister rather than her parents. It's the first contact I've had with her since that day, and I really have no idea what to expect. Yeah, it's also especially awkward because the family does not accept you at all. While I may have hoped that the time that's past would have dulled my memories, they're still as fresh as ever. Moreover, if it's bad for me, it could only be worse for her. You okay? Almost pissing myself, actually. Thanks for coming with me. Hisao clapped me on the shoulder a couple of times. He needn't have come, but I must have made a pitiful impression on him when I implied I wouldn't be comfortable doing this alone. As we clear the trees, a lonely wooden park bench comes into view with a lonely girl seated on it. Only the top of her back of her head is visible, but there's no mistaking her. Last shot is fairly average, but now his head goes over the screen. Yeah, I mean, yeah, fair. Wait, actually, let me see. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Ah, shit, we gotta go through that. Okay, yeah, no, I see what you mean. I stop in my tracks, but now that I can see her, I'm forced to admit that it feels wrong to bring Hisao into this. It's not his fault any of this happened, and I'm the one with the most time spent with Suzu. My mind begins to fill with all the events that lead to this situation. I mean, you know, the sprite situation of this game, the fact that he's slightly more up frame is totally fine to me. Like, he's not going to appear in the scene with himself, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it's a little weird. Like, why couldn't they just balance it out? There's a lot of things in this game. It's like, dude, I could fix this up, like, if you want me to, sort of thing. But it does make it funny, so you know, it is what it is. As long as it doesn't like take you out of the moment too much, then it's fine. My mind begins to fill with all the events that led to this situation. What might have been in her head as she stared into the abyss of non-existence. What I did to make her hurt so badly, and what I could have done to stop it. What I saw, what I didn't see, what I did, and what I didn't. Miki? I take a side of studying myself. It makes me feel a little sheepish, but I have to admit the obvious. Sorry, Hisao, but... He just smiles. It's always bugged me how easy it is to make him wear a smile, but how hard it is to make him genuinely do so. This, at least, is the latter. I understand. Good luck. Thanks. I owe you one. He turns on the ball of his heel and begins to stroll off, hand held in the air. He suddenly grew some inches, bro. He needs to use that magic recipe to show. What? Yeah, only pointing it out because it's funny. Yeah, fair. I didn't even notice it, to be honest. I'll hold you to that. With that, he disappears into the trickle of people walking along the concrete path of the park. It's just me and Suzu now. With my heart in my mouth, I walk up to the bench and... Dude, this is literally going to end with her writing my name in the death note, and it's going to be like... It all came full circle. That would actually be a hilarious ending. I walk up... It would be like fucking School Days or something. Like, what the fuck is that ending? It's so worth it. I walk up to the bench and park myself beside her. My first mistake is waiting for her to greet me before doing the same, with an awkward silence lingering as she fails to say a word. Indeed, her only reaction to my presence is a quick sideways glance before looking straight ahead once more. The only silver lining is that I feel a little less conspicuous as I examine her as best as I can. Most immediate observation is that she looks small. I do my best to try and work out why, but come to the conclusion that it isn't physical. Beyond her slumped shoulders, she gives the aura of someone wholly defeated, a spark of life within her glowing terribly dim. Sag. You defended me with that, then I will attack you with that now. Yeah. It doesn't look as... she's been crying recently, at least. A little thinner for the experience, perhaps, but she's always been a problematic eater. Content that I'm not going to work out anything further from looking at the girl, I take a breath and try to work out what I'll say, which isn't possible. Do I address her casually, like today, just another day? We both know that wouldn't be the case. How do I even begin to approach what happened, though? Is she mad at me for stopping her? Thankful? Does she want to break up with me? Or stay together? Yeah, I'm kind of like, are you even two together anymore? Like, this is really awkward. Given up on making conversation, I simply reach out to rub Suzu's hair. A strange feeling comes over me at the moment. I place my hand on her head and begin to stroke her. A sense of calm, in sharp contrast to the previous anxiety of facing her again. She's just Suzu after all, the same girl I'd known for all this time. Only this time she tried to kill herself. Pardon me. Maybe she feels something similar to what I am, as her cheeks have become distinctly rosy. Time goes by as I gently stroke her head, but try as we might, we can't ignore what's happened. Suzu's eyes begin to moisten, her mouth trembling as she tries desperately to hold in her emotions. Oh, she's crying. Slowly but surely, tears begin to form, overflowing and gently rolling down her cheeks. My heart drops as I watch her, the girl weeping in sorrowful silence. I wrap my arms around Suzu and bring her head to my chest, holding her shuddering body to mine in a warm embrace. It's from her that the first words come. I'm sorry. Come on, now, none of this is your fault. I'm the one who messed up everything, but it feels like you're the one taking the fall. Stop saying that. Isn't it true, though? She picks herself off of me, wiping her eyes with the back of her wrist. She's managed to pull herself together a little, but barely. You're not a terrible person, Miki. You're beautiful, outgoing, kind. Unlike me, all I ever do is constantly cause others problems. No matter how hard I try, I've always been useless. You're saying, like, she causes the problems, but, like... I feel like Miki's caused quite a few problems. You had the courage to confess. That takes some guts, especially to another girl. I panicked. That's all that happened. For so long, I stood on the side. This is the longest line, like, box of text she's had the entire game. She's usually like, oh, one word, Andy. For so long, I stood on the sidelines and tried to help you improve yourself. and saw your circle of friends getting greater and greater. When I saw you with Sal, I realized that you'd finally become someone who might have had a bright future ahead of them. But then, when you mentioned that you chose to come to my house, to put it in your terms, I guess it was like instinctively reaching for something thrown towards you. I'd always thought you were straight, but even if you weren't, I was a useless person to begin with. I didn't have the right to be with someone like you. But when I heard that, when I saw the first ray of hope I'd seen for so long, I grabbed it without thinking. You should be proud of that. I know I made things worse, but I was trying to change that for you. Or I was trying to change for you. They both cause problems. They're perfect for each other. Normal human stuff. Giga Chad 1, Word Andy turning into Sigma Girl. World of Text and I know. I trail off as an expression falls to one of abject despair. Yes, that's right, isn't it? Everyone has to change because of me. Everyone has to make allowances and act differently. Suzu. I love you, Miki. You're strong-willed, you're brave, you look for others. You have such a strong spark of life, more than anyone I've ever known. I don't care if you think you're stupid or rough or what you've done in the past. Miki, I didn't fall for you because of what I wanted you to be. I fell for you because of what you are. When I saw how I messed up, hurting the one I loved them very most. I feel a big lump in my throat as I stare at Suzu, her declaration of her feelings hammering home. I'm not going to cry. I told myself that I damn well wasn't going to cry. Damn it, Suzu. You had me scared, you know? More scared than I've ever been in my life. Ah! I reach for Suzu and grab her tightly, pressing her into my chest with all the strength I can muster. Miki, you're holding me too tight. I can't breathe. Miki! And then she just like snaps her neck. Too bad, because I'm not letting you go. I don't want to lose you, Suzu. Not again. I won't change, I promise. As I hold her body tightly, her arms find their way around my back. For the first time, I feel like we truly understand each other. There are no walls anymore. All there is me and her. I lost and Hisao watching from like over there. I lost everything all those years ago, but now I realize I found someone truly worth the pain I felt since then. My precious Suzu, who I so nearly lost. Oh, it just ended. Okay. But, oh, wow, that was really abrupt. I want some, like, give me some credits or something. Jesus. Wait, let me see if I can get to that part again. Oh, fuck. That went by so quick. Wait, attempt to. Oh, fuck, I missed it, dude. You need AR11. You need AR11 fucking reaction speeds for this. I'm trying to stop as soon as I get to the park. Fuck, I missed it. Okay. Stop. Okay. Okay. Don't touch anything. So gonna be like, come on. There we go. Alright, that's perfect. Alright. Fucked that up slightly. I didn't expect it to be like, I guess that's why every game, it like either doesn't let you skip the credits or you have to like hold a button to skip. Because that was jarring. The end. Finito. Damn, yeah, so that was only like, yeah, it was still like 40 minutes, fair enough. I wasn't going to do that yesterday. That was nice though. Wait. Oh shit, wait. I wasn't looking. Wait, what would he say? Oh, fuck, wait. Fuck! Oh, whatever. Angel Beats worked on this. Yeah, I guess that was where they got all the, where they got the sprites from. Because I saw Higurashi and I definitely saw the Higurashi sprites. So I guess that was where all the other sprites came from. But yeah, that was really nice. I'm glad it didn't. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about the little like suicide arc at the end, but I did like the very end scene of them like finally understanding each other. I feel like it maybe could have gone a different way, and it was also like I feel like the last scene was maybe a little brief, because we still didn't get to like. It would have been nice if we went to their place. I don't know if you're about for this part, but basically, so she goes to visit Suzu in her family home, and her parents are very disapproving of the fact that she's a lesbian, and like she's like, don't ever come back here again. So I was hoping they would go to that and like you would see the parents again, and they would be like, what are you doing back here or whatever, and then they see like how close Suzu and Miki are, and the fact that Suzu's like happy again after being like espresso depresso mode for however many weeks or days or whatever, and then she's like, oh, okay, I get it now. I think that would have been like a nice, like, because that was sort of like, it's weird not to see them again. It felt like a slightly unresolved plotline or whatever. And that whole like end scene was just a little, like, we didn't see Hisao again or anything, which was a little weird. But like overall, that was really nice. I like that. Yeah, yeah, it took spice from other games. Yeah, yeah. Well, I didn't either. I just saw Higurashi and Angel Beats. I'm like, I guess, and that's what the spray came from. Yeah, it went. I feel like they could have got the same feeling of her feeling pathetic or something without it going to the suicide route, since it was so brief and from out of left field, and also not really talked about much. It was kind of weird, but I think they could have replaced it with something like slightly less extreme but still believable, that Suzu just wanted to, I don't know, it just didn't, I just don't see the connection that it made total sense. But like, it is what it is. It went from 1 to 100 real quick. Yeah. Didn't have any breathing room. Yeah, it's a nice game we got. Yeah, yeah. It needed to be like, I like ending on like a whole like climactic, like, oh my god, I love you so much, I'll be with you forever. But then like you gotta have like a little bit like an epilogue sort of thing, just to like wind down. And they're having like, they go to Shanghai with Hisao, and both of them, and you know, they're happy again, and like they're super lovey-dovey, and then she falls asleep, and she takes her back up the hill or something, and then it ends there, and it'll be like a nice little calming ending sort of thing. But yeah, considering this is just like for one of the writers, it was like very good for the majority of it. So I'm not really, I'm nitpicking the ending, but it was still like, it was still nice overall. I just didn't expect it to go that route. It was already implied. People basically get the gist of how she feels, so suddenly making it a physical thing that's so extreme, it's just like, damn, but why? There just wasn't a proper epilogue to wind everything down. You're right. Yeah, but I mean, I agree. It looked pretty good to me. Yeah, exactly. Like, I didn't expect it to be this long, or to be honest, this like engaging. Like it, I thought it was gonna be like very like the other. I'm pretty sure the other. I don't remember exactly how long each route is in the original game, but this felt like a pretty complete route, even if it was a bit shorter. I thought this was going to be like 3 hours maybe, and it was like, I mean, including like, I think the common route was 2 hours, and then this was 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 hours, I think, which is good. And then we got Hisao's, which is, I think, about maybe 3 hours or something. So yeah, since I've only been streaming for 40 minutes, we are just gonna start with the Hisao route. So I think it's just here. So we just got load back to here. There's only been one choice, which is fair enough. There isn't a bad end, or I think for every, I keep like talking about this like, you know, the game, but I feel like I've talked to you before about this and you haven't played the original game, but like you absolutely should, because it's amazing. If you like this, then like the original is like all of this but better and without the city sprite stuff. Yeah, you really need to. It's like so emotionally like moving and stuff. But yeah, I think for every character in that, you have like a good end, a neutral end, and a bad end for each character. And there's like 5 characters you can pick, and then there's a bad end where you just kill yourself, or you die or something with your 4chaner bro. And this is like, yeah, there's just like 2 choices, and that's it, and that's all it needs to be, so that's fine. Yeah, I mean, I used to do, like I've said obviously many times, I used to stream Higurashi and a couple other visuals, which I can't quite remember. I did like Dangan at one point, a few other things, but mainly Higurashi. And I would do like the little lolly voices and stuff. And like, I was like living at home there, and my parents were like, probably like, they never said anything, but they could obviously hear me just like doing weird girl voices and shit. But like, Obviously, I know your family is like literally in your room, so that just isn't part of the question at all. I was just like, yeah, they can probably hear me, but they can't see me, and I'm just gonna pretend they can't see me, so it's fine. I don't care. But now I can just go like, I mean, I'm not doing anything like extreme, but it lets me do it without feeling like someone's listening in, which I hated the feeling of, even if it's like, okay. Bo, 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 bo. If I were in a different room, I would be fine. I mean, my brother blasts weird music to my parents. He like listens to a lot of Vocaloid, and that includes some of the wacky songs. Yeah, I mean, fair. Probably. All right. Right. So we're gonna go back here. This choice was kind of interesting to me. So I thought what was gonna happen. I don't think you saw the lead up to this. But basically, we agreed to go. Oh, we talked about going to Suzu's house for the summer holidays, and then you get a phone call from your dad, and it's like, "Yo, you coming back home?" And this is a choice, like, you can go or you do the existing plan. And I'm guessing this one is Hisao's route, but I assume because Hisao went to the summer house with us, we would like have time. And then we get to choose, like, oh, do you want to go to Suzu and this? And this just felt like a bad end. Like, you just go home to your parents. You don't get to finger blast anybody. But yeah, so we're gonna do this, and I guess this is the Hisao route somehow. So we're gonna be gay for the, well, we're not gonna be gay. Way of girl. We're gonna be straight for this, but the other way around, which I've never done in visual novels. This be weird. Gauge. Is it like, yeah. After thinking about it, I finally come to a decision. All right, I'll come. I'll be bringing two of my friends there. That's what I like to hear. Come on, you're running friends or what? Not quite. Just Suzuki and Nakai, if they agree. No, Nakai. Sounds like a little bitch. All right. You haven't mentioned Hisao to him yet. Yeah, he's a friend from class. Pretty mild-mannered dude. Shouldn't be trouble. He might have a heart attack. Hope not. Bah, your friends have always been trouble. Good thing I'm used to it right now. I'm interested to see what her family looks like. I'm pretty worried that they're gonna look absolutely ridiculous. Oh, I wonder, because it was in the credits, I didn't actually recognize. I feel like I would. I'm not like a big Angel Beats fan or anything or super familiar, but I feel like if I saw anything from Angel Beats, I would have recognized it, maybe. Although I haven't played the visual novel. But maybe it's in this route. It'll be good to see you again. Take care of yourself until you get here, alright? I will, thanks. With that, we say our goodbyes. Yeah, we need to find something to read, and it's something that's not like too long. Just to see if we can commit to something, because I don't want to do something like 4 times and then it'd be like, we're just like not doing it anymore. And also because of your, situation where you can't really do that too often, and my terrible availability schedule that I'm not about too much, it's sort of like the stars have to align. That's why it's taking like a year to read 1 chapter of Clannad. But if you can find something that's good and like pretty short, then like, yeah, hit me up. I mean, I would probably voice that regardless of people are in the room or not. It's 6 character cast, yeah. So it'd be easier if you were a girl, and then you could do the girl voices, I could do the guy voices. Easy. I think I own it, yeah. And most of them, they're like either 3 crappy ones, or they're like 40 hours long minimum. I just like, There was like a couple. When I was trying to find a game similar to this, like way back, like 10 years ago, I found some like couple decent ones. They were a little bit incesty, but like that's not unexpected. And it was only a few hours. That one was pretty good. But yeah, most of them are kind of like. There was some other ones I read about were like, this is just nothing. This doesn't do anything for me. There's a short one called Narcissu or whatever, like the mapper. You familiar, Narcissu. That's about. There's like no sprite, so I struggled to get through it. I didn't even finish it, but I read it for like half an hour or something, and it's like this boy and this girl meet in a like a hospice or something, and they're both dying, and apparently it's extremely sad, and it's only like a few hours, but I never got to it because yeah, it was just like reading a book and I couldn't visualize anything. So practice speaking like girls that have an interesting voice. I think, yeah. Grimm's Hollow, which is like 3 hours long. All right, link it. Put it in Discord. I'll have a look later. Let's see if we can get through some of this. With that, we say our goodbyes. I guess I have some explaining to do with Suzu, but it should be an interesting holiday provided they come. After all these years, I'll finally be returning home. Yeah, it's just kind of weird. Like, if you picked out the first time, it's like, wait, what? Hisao? Why are we instantly dating Hisao just because we're going home for... it just seems a bit weird. I'm interested to see how she's going to latch onto him more so than her in this. Because, like, a lot of the scenes with them overlap. Where, like, in the original game, you basically had... There's 5 girls, but they're in pairs of 2. And one of them you can't really date. So you have, like, you either go to the library and meet these people, you go to the student council and meet these people, or you go to, like, the rooftop or the track or whatever, you meet these people. But this is, like, they're all kind of together, so I'm interested to see how she's gonna, like, fall for him instead of Suzu. I feel like, I just feel so bad for Suzu. We're just gonna date this out, and she's, like, super, like lonely and whatnot, and just sad, and we're just like, yeah, we're just gonna like, fuck, just like sit there and just read your book. With the last class of the semester having ended a few hours ago, I find myself straddling a chair backwards. Oh, she's a badass. She is really old school, and she's like doing the 80s thing, to watch the 2 interlopers in my room. Aside from the occasional rustle of paper and the squeaking of my hand gripper as I exercise the hand I still have, there's still little to be heard. Hisao and Suzu quietly work as they sit on the floor, each on opposite sides of my upturned box table. On it sits 1 science textbook and 1 notebook each. Equations and notes from the former carefully being written to the latter. It's a free Steam game, so yeah. Oh wait, it's more of a JRPG. Okay, never mind. I have one, but that's 21 minutes. Wait, what? How is it so short? What the fuck? It's like 1 scene. I have a question. Yes. Have you two noticed that exams are over, right? You can stop fucking studying. That's exactly why we're studying, to go over what we felt we didn't do well during exams. God, you're such a fucking nerd. And this is happening in my dorm room because I invited you guys over for poker. What the fuck is this shit? Because someone had the silly idea that you might actually join us. Hisao looks displeased with the amusement of his plan. To be fair, there was no way it'd work. I'm already firmly in holiday mode and couldn't be paid enough to study. That does remind me of something though. Alright, I probably should have mentioned this earlier. There might be a problem with going to Suzu's place during the holidays. Both of them looked to me with interest, so I guess holiday plans being threatened is enough to break them from their oh so important schoolwork. My dad called. I ended up agreeing to go home for the break. So you're not spending the time with us? Well, that's the next thing. Our house has room if you two want to come, and I'm sure Dad would be fine with it. Why do I get the feeling that you've made our holiday decision for us? I have no idea what you mean. I have no idea what you mean. I put a silly face to try and amuse her, but it doesn't work. Then again, I doubt Suzu's actually annoyed. She'd make it clear if she was. Hisao, for his part, looks more contemplative than anything. I get the feeling he has a greater sense of curiosity than the norm, so a trip like this should be quite an adventure for him. Either way, his reaction doesn't escape Suzu. I guess I'll call my parents to let them know. You won't regret it, I promise. You're not going to leave me alone with her, are you? Don't worry, I'll come, seeing where... That feels so bad after what we just read through. She doesn't care about us. Don't worry, I'll come. Seeing where someone like Miki grew up would be interesting. You make me sound like some kind of weirdo. You don't say. As I'm about to protest, Suzu rubs her eyes tired eyes wearily. It is getting pretty late. Looking at the clock beside my bed. If you want to get some rest, go ahead. I still need to finish this. There's no point going on if you're tired. I'm always fucking tired. Have you not noticed? None of it will stick. We can pick this up again tomorrow. Fine. Say thank you to the teacher, Suzu. to my best, she does, but manages to stick a barb in there. Thanks. Now you can try teaching her. I'm not a miracle worker. Damn! Harsh! Reaching for a school bag and sliding her books into it, Susie comes to her feet and yawns as she groggily leaves the room. Both of us saying like goodbyes as she does, the old door creaking shut behind her. It sounds like go back to reading over his work, but my attention is elsewhere. Leaving the hand grip on the desk, I get off my chair and sit down where Susie previously was, picking up the notebook she's left behind. Her handwriting is an odd form of scrawl with tiny characters and no flares at all. It's fast to write and fits a lot of text onto each page, sure, but it's also damn near impossible to read. There was always that one person in class that wrote so fucking small you couldn't read it at all, and then you had to like peer review their work. I'm like, bro, what is this? Guess I'll give her this tomorrow. Expecting himself to mention something, his silence draws my attention and then rips his clothes off. Make love with me. Sure enough, he still sits there fiddling with some equation or another, pen tapping at his mouth thoughtfully. I don't get it. How did a nerd like you ever get a girlfriend? It's not as if I was always like this, just wasn't a lot to do in hospital. I used to be a soccer stud. Really? You're pretty smart though. I mean, Mewtwo praises you all the time. Yeah, I'm a fucking kiss ass. I never really applied myself much before. Messing around with my friends and playing soccer was more fun. He looks back down to his books, but gives up on the prospect of studying further as he sits back. What about you, anyway? Ever had a boyfriend? Or girlfriend, for that matter? I won't judge. I give a brief laugh at his timid indecision over which way I lean. I'd be cool with either, but I've never really felt like getting romantic with anyone. I think friendship is underrated. He nods, apparently pleased with the answer. Excludes the catalogue of free not so explicit games that exist on the internet. Yeah, fair. Like, did you want to stream it? Like when we did do it? Because if you did, we probably can't do the not safe for work one. Also, if we didn't stream it, I still would feel weird voice acting a sex scene with you. No offense. I feel weird doing it myself. Higurashi troll player child, suck my dick. Oh, milk inside of a bag is good. The 21-minute one. Yeah, I read that. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's free. Just read it. It's pretty good. Phoenix Wright, no, absolutely not. Center and Banker, I've done. It's good. It's just a hentai game though. It's not got a good story at all. But the sex scenes are. The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. I saw someone play that, and it's just like dumb. I will take it. Find love or die trying. I don't mind like paying for one if it's gonna be like good, like not too expensive. If it's like under 10 quid, I don't mind like paying for one. But yeah, it's not. How to answer this? It's not like terrible, but it goes on for way too long, and it's such like this game is like. KATAWA SHOUJO is like, it's a visual novel, and there's also a couple sex scenes. Senran Banker and all the ones in that series are like, it's a hentai game with like kind of a story there. And once the story goes on for so fucking long, and after you've got these teasing scenes of like them in the shower and in the bath, and you walk in on them, and, like there's tits everywhere, and after that you're just like, man, I just want to get to the sex scenes. And then once you get to one, and you're like, oh fuck, I like don't care about the story at all, I just want to get to the other ones. That was like my experience with it, at least. So yeah, but the story was not like, if it didn't have hentai in it, I would not read that at all. It would be the most boring thing ever. It might be interesting to you slightly. I'm not saying it's a terrible story, but it's not interesting to me, in my opinion. But it's like, if you want, you seem to say you don't like games for the hentai or whatever. If you don't want it for that, don't get it. But if you do want it for that, it's one of the better ones that I've played. Like, it does those things really well, but the story is like an afterthought, basically. Even though it goes on for like fucking 10 hours, which is long for those games. Seeing that I have the option to get them for free. Speedrun and everywhere to unlock all the scenes, yeah. Fuck, what was I gonna say? Yeah, it's really like, as like a visual novel, it's like so convenient, it makes every other game frustrating. It's got like everything. It's got so many options. It's got like panic buttons. It's got like every option for like muting every single voice, everything like that. And it even has a flowchart where you can see every single scene, and it just like, it's not a mystery of how you get to like certain girls' routes or anything. It's just, it's all laid out, and then if you want to go and start again from a certain scene, you can just click on the flowchart and just go through it and just find it. It's so convenient, like perfect, and the art is like really good, high quality. Everything's like super high budget. It's just the story kind of sucks. The girls are cute though. He nods, apparently pleased with the answer. It's later than I thought. You can stay overnight if you want. I don't care. It'd be like an old-fashioned slumber party. But I get to finger blast you. I don't know why we're finger blasting Hasao. I mean, we can, I guess, but like, you know, it'd be the other way around. Sure, but with a girl, that's like fucking gay. Girls have cuties. It's not that weird, is it? A teenage girl and a teenage guy both alone in a bedroom. I think you're the one being weird. Okay, here's how just being gay now. It's a genuine offer, you know. Not my fault you're preoccupied with sex. I am not. Got them for free and bought them afterwards. To be fair, yeah, I did do that when I like didn't have money and stuff. I would just like there was one site that like I didn't torrent or anything. I like just downloaded the games, and they were in like, I downloaded Chaos Head in like 70 parts, and you could only download like one every like 20 minutes or something. It took like a week to download, and I couldn't believe it fucking worked. And then I didn't read it until I read like 10 minutes of it. I'm like, oh, I'll just do it another day, and then never went back to it. And then I ended up buying it on Steam. But yeah, I did that with a couple, not too many. I did it with Steins Gate, and then I ended up buying Steins Gate on PS3, and then I got gifted it recently, which is a bit awkward because I had it on my wish list to see if it went on sale, and then someone bought it for me for Christmas. I'm like, oh, I'm like not gonna be playing this. But it is there. I have said like I would read the entirety to Steins Gate to someone if they wanted me to, and they were like committed to it. I would do that, but yeah, I don't really plan on doing that. I'm not. You're a teenage guy, you know. You're allowed to think about that stuff. All teenagers do, except for maybe Susie. I'm still not sure she isn't a robot. No, she's real. I guess you're lucky that you had a girlfriend at least dipping your toe in while you're still young. It's good. Well, wait, you did get lucky with her, didn't you? I would have had a heart attack way sooner if that happened, love. That's none of your business. That confirms it. There's one thing I've learned about guys is that they can't resist bragging about their experience. No, not some people. Some people do, and they're like douchebags, and some people are like, yeah. I don't like over-explaining that stuff personally. Most of the people I know don't either, because it's kind of weird. I feel like the people that do over-explain and brag it feels like they're just insecure about it for some reason. Like, I don't know. Leaving that aside, if you're fine with me staying overnight, I will. Not much to do in my own room after all. He attempts to play it cool, but I'm not willing to let him go that easily. Grabbing his tie and pulling him, I give him an impish grin. I ain't gonna torture you. Wants to go quest. Why is that? I don't remember. I don't think I know that one. I know that was the game is Poggers, unironically. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, you mean you literally can't support them rather than like, oh, I'm not gonna support them. I thought you were like, I don't agree with like what they do or whatever. Whack ass. So it's like, yeah, fair. You know, we could give it a try if you want. Sex is pretty fun, yeah. How did this? I don't know. Like, I don't quite remember how we left off before the choice branches. But like, we were not this close with Hisao for her to say this. It's just like, yeah, we're in historic now. Like, we're just gonna like, we're just gonna fuck now. You're a pretty cute guy after all. Seems pretty trustworthy too. I wouldn't mind one bit. That's an awfully strange way to start a relationship with someone. Relationship is such a strong word. It's just a fling. It's not like there's a law saying you have to be lovers to have sex, you know? I do my best to get a read on him, but it's hard to say if he's really willing. He seems to be giving it sincere thought, at least, which is heartening. As moments pass, I slowly become aware that this could probably be called sexual harassment. It certainly would be if it would be the other way around. I wouldn't want something like this to sour our friendship, and things would just be awkward if he wasn't really into it. Accepting that this is his house decision rather than mine, I let go of his tie and sit back. You need to loosen up, man. You're gonna give me a fucking heart attack! If you want to save yourself for someone special, that's fine. You can stay overnight to just study or talk if you want. I'm just saying that if you want to screw as well, I'll be up front. Damn, she's a queen. God damn. But learning Japanese, one of my reasons for it is we want to help be a translator. Fair. It'll probably release in a year or two, but the translation probably won't be done for another 2 to 3 years. Fair enough. I mean, I feel like with AI now, you could do that so easily. You could just like Google Translate like everything, and then put it through an AI prompt thing where it will just like make all this text make sense in context, and it would just like redo it all. I feel like this is what we should be using AI for, to get hentai in English. It's like all that dude, have you I feel we're just randomly talking about this. I don't really care because you're the only one here. But I've noticed since the whole AI boom, there's been a lot of like AI what the fuck's it called? Like depixelization. What's it called? Decensoring. There's been a lot of AI decensoring where it's like this isn't censored, but this isn't uncensored either. It's like that a weird in between. But yeah, that's like one of the best things that AI can do as well. How can you always be so carefree? I'm kind of envious. Wow. His decision appears to be made. His staring at me ending with a great sigh. I guess just messing about with a friend would take some anxiety out of the first time. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I couldn't even fathom being in this situation. I've never been close to like a girl friend that is like this, and I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck how I would do that. I don't even know how I would deal with that now. Right? A silence falls as his house face drops. Something wrong? You got a small dick or something? So do we kiss? Are we actually doing this? What the fuck? Oh, hey, laughing. What is this?
God damn it, Matt. I swear to God, if you don't fuck her, I'll kill myself. Matt, please, please, Matt. Fuck her for me.
What the fuck is this? What's this from? The Girl Next Door? Oh, shit. Dude, I watched that when I was like 10. If that's is that like the 2004 like basically porn movie? I watched that with my mate when I was like 12. And I like slept through it. That's funny. That's already happening. And proofread it. Yeah, that's already happening. Kind of. There's like a drama localizers going around the internet. Yeah, but localization people, they don't even get paid, right? Or like, I guess for the big games they might, but for like a lot of manga and stuff, it's just like, yeah, we need oh my god, what's it called? When people help for free. What the fuck is it called? We need volunteers. That's what I always see on like the scanlation sites and stuff of like in between online manga. It's like, please, we need your help. We can't translate the stuff. We've got like 3 people working and they're doing it for nothing and they're doing 16 hours a day. Paid localization. Localizers are complaining. Yeah, I mean fair enough, but like surely they can do something else. Like if you're like skilled in multiple languages, there are other things you can do that AI couldn't take the job of. The localizers are changing the meaning of the translations, so everybody supports them losing their job. Since the people who stay true to the translation won't lose it anyway. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. But if it was done right, it could still be done very quickly. And I don't know, it's just like the case of everything. Like AI's become such a touchy subject of like, I feel like you're either one side if you fully support it, or the other side is like, no, it's fucking the worst thing ever. And I'm just like, it's so useful for some things, and it's like, but there is a line where it's like, taking jobs from people is like kind of scummy and stuff. Oh Jesus Christ, what is this? Dude, one of my mates that used to watch the Higurashi stuff, he clips so much sus shit that's still on my clips now, and I'm like, I'm glad you guys haven't been clipping this, even though I guess you could have and just not said anything. I've never been close to like a girl. I can't. Fuck you. I hate you. Fuck you. Fair enough. If I was embarrassed shit, I wouldn't do it, don't worry. This is funny. So, do we kiss, or I break out into laughter? Probably the worst thing to do in this situation, but I don't care at all. How's this guy so bloody innocent? You make you feel guilty about this. Yeah, laugh it up. I'll tug my dick. After having a good chuckle, I managed to slowly get myself back together. His innocence is charming, but I suppose innocence itself can be fun to corrupt. Are we really gonna sexy this early? What the fuck? This is the romancing music. No, no, Sal taking the initiative. Dude, it took like, I'm gonna say it so long. It took a good couple hours to finger blast Suzu. Knowing that Hisal's taking the initiative is unlikely to happen and would be awkward at best if he did, I just decided to lead him as best I can. I thought, are we experienced in this? It didn't seem like we were. The box between us is easily shoved aside, leaving me to shuffle myself in front of him. Reaching out and starting to pop off his shirt buttons one by one, I can feel my eagerness starting to get the better of me. For Sal's part, he takes his cue and dutifully undoes his tie. No, pretty good at that. I'm doing buttons, that is. This is all good. You learn this stuff pretty quickly when you need to. Yeah, she literally wears a shirt with the buttons. She wears the guy's uniform. What do you mean? Right, did he show you? Wait, it's like before when he grew taller, he's gone shorter. Go to the bottom of his shirt and doing it with practiced ease. I quickly pull it off and admire the sight in front of me. I can't help but give a long wistful breath at the sight of his bare chest. He does his best not to notice, but I can tell he likes the reaction. Well, not it's like cut down that scar, bro. While not exactly chiseled, it's clear he's in better shape than the average dude. Rather, he's been in the result of some careful weight regime. His body tells of someone who, like a certain other in the club, has kept himself quite fit. His heart attack was all the more unfortunate in that light. He must have been an active and outdoorsy kind of person before that happened, and now he's stuck studying law into the night just for something to do. The scar running up his torso makes that clearer than words ever could. Well thinking, I reach out and start feeling up his chest. You're looking pretty, you're pretty nice looking, you know. Scar aside. It's just a line. Besides, at least you can hide it. This might be a bit late, but are you sure it's okay to do this with your heart thing? Arrhythmia. I'll be okay. I just have to take it easy. Spoilers for the other game. There was one scene he was not alright, and he almost fucking died whilst having sex. It was funny. It wasn't funny. It was kind of like, ooh, this is awkward. Why is he so thick? What do you mean he's thick? He's not thick. What do you mean? I just have to take it easy. As I continue running my hand over him, I notice his eyes peering down into my top. He takes up my smile as permission, his hands gingerly reach forward. He seems mildly surprised at how my breast feels as he begins to gently grip my left one, feeling out of shape and seeing how it reacts when slightly kneaded. I don't know, the kneading thing is like weird. Like, I work at a bakery, have it feel comparing like kneading doughs and kneading a tit is like, oh, it's not. I don't like that comparison. My heart skips a beat as his hands chase underneath my tank top, playing with it directly before me, moving on to my nipple. The look at his face of lust mixed with sheer curiosity turns me on more than it is his haphazard groping could. He looks 10 times thicker, really? What do you mean? You can't. What do you mean he looks? Oh, you mean thick as in wider? I thought you meant like he was caked up. Like, what do you mean? You can't see it. He's not got like some thunder thighs. My hand slowly moves down from his chest to his stomach before coming over the now tight crotch of his trousers. His breath catches as I move it up and down a little. Okay, we're not reading that super explicit stuff, alright? Hisao and I look to each other for a moment, the both of us knowing that there's no going back after this. Our eyes can be more different, mine asking for this to continue as his show caution. He manages to settle himself with the garb, accepting the idea of stripping in front of me. Off comes his belt, soon followed by wow, next to the socks. He manages to tug off his trousers with some effort before the reluctant strip shows ends up with the underwear being done away with. And there Hisao is, entirely naked as he sits on the floor of my room before me. I can't help but pause a little to appreciate the lovely sight. I'm honestly stunned at how quickly we've moved. We're like, okay, we're in Hisao's room. Get his clothes off right now. Right. Yeah, he's got a hard on, obviously. You look pleased with yourself. Shouldn't you take pride in turning a girl on? He blushes at my praise, words stolen from his mouth, so I slowly begin to lower myself down and brush back my hair. Damn. Okay. We don't need to comment on the smell, do we? Do we? I don't think so. Okay, yep, she's going down to him. That's fine. We get it. Yeah, there we go. That's the dog just to confirm. Ooh. I didn't even look at the scenes from the other route off stream. So, what do you think? You know the answer to that. How unfortunate. He's getting too good at knowing when I'm finished fishing for praise. I just smirk. I wonder if he's like in every other hentai, he's like a 3-round Andy, where he can just go over and over and over. We don't need to explain what cum tastes like. Jesus Christ. Men are so gross. Are you okay? Joking. You could warm me, asshole. I mean, it's kind of hard to sometimes. Does it really taste that bad? I'm not reading this bit. Henslers are so gross. I mean, not to some women. Thanks anyway, that felt really good. Dude, imagine Giga-chan, he just leaves. It's like, fuck my thing. Giga-chan comes in about. He leaves, right? Thanks, love, and just goes back to his room. Yeah, I was gonna say, you're talking like this is over. No, bro, what are you doing? You're fumbling so bad. What are you I've already done. What the fuck do you want? You're not the only one here, dude. We're not stopping at third base. What the fuck? He looks unsure, like, what the fuck? Girls have things too. This is so funny. He looks unsure, but I guess it's understandable. It's hard to say when they'd be ready for round 2. Yeah, no, alright, that's a little bit, like, unacceptable. Like, yeah, he's gonna be a while, I think. But, like, no, I thought it was just going, like, if you just fall around first time, hand stuff is fine. Well, I guess she, like, deep-throated him, but, you know. I'm still ready and raring to go, though, and so he's going to at least learn how to pleasure me before this is over. I take a hold of my top and begin to lift, his eyes widening as I let it fall to the floor. My bust isn't the only thing he's going to see when my shorts and panties falling. Alright, yep, he's just like, check me out. He's obviously likes what he sees. Jeez. I'll take that as a compliment. I want to see if how much he fumbles this. Okay. Okay. To the ass. Nice move. Okay. Okay. The neck foreplay. I like it. I like it. He's starting to recharge by now. Yeah, but like, I mean, I guess. I thought we were just gonna finger blast her. Are we just like going her round 2, like fucking 2 minutes after he just choked her to death? So that's what it looks like. Interesting. Hey, I've had to get close to your junk before. You know how to do this. Not an idiot, you know. I sure hope not. Ah, stop with the lapping. It just makes you think of the dog that comes up in a second. Jesus Christ. Oh, God, don't call it a nub either. The language in this is so, like, unsexy. Jesus Christ. His succulent breath is really hot in my ears. Oh, God. Lapping away at me. No. No. Hey, Miki. Do you want to? Sure, stay there a moment. Okay, so... Alright, fair enough. Damn, he is, like... He was recharged quickly. He's got those triple A's in. Original death and pulling it out of the drawer, I grab a small foil square and chuck it. Damn, she was ready for this. He looks a little puzzled for a moment as that lands on his chest. What are you gonna like? What? I thought we were having sex. We're not eating ketchup packets. What's this? All right, that was lucky. I guess you didn't want to run to the convenience store right now. Yeah. God, that must be like. I mean, at that point, you just like do something else, right? Or you shouldn't risk. But like at that point, you're not gonna go like, all right, just I'll be back. I'll be back in about 45 to 50 minutes. Let me just run to the store. I assume this goes well. He might like die midway through. We'll see. Yeah, we don't. Oh, oh. Okay, we're not gonna be. You've done good, boy. Boy, you done real good. This. Oh God. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. The other scene did not last as long. Jesus Christ. Okay. I'm honestly surprised it went that far. That's wild. Get close to your dump truck. Jesus Christ. When the both of us cleaned up and clothed once more, we lie beneath the sheets next to each other as we try to sleep. Not that we try very hard, admittedly. Thanks for tonight, Miki. Oh, thanks for tonight, Miki. Fuck's sake. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Hey, it was nice for me too. Aside from you. Alright, you don't need to go on about that. You just kind of snuck up on me. I don't know what I referred to because I like skipped all that. I don't know what happened. It seemed like everything went well, so I don't know. I bet. So we're off on our little adventure tomorrow. What's your home like? Anyway, moving on. You'll see. I reckon you'll like it. We can bone there too, which definitely will. Whoa, that was wow, that was a scene. Jesus Christ. Let's go to this is so out of sync. With the last of our luggage off the bus and piled onto the chair of the shelter, the old thing slowly pulls away with a friendly wave from the driver. There's a small wonder that it's still around after all these years. As the rumble of the tired old engine fades away, it's replaced by nothing but silence, a comfortable, nostalgic silence. Like, there's such a difference between these sex scenes and the other ones. It's like the other ones are like they're meant to be like jerked off to, and these are like they're just kind of a bit funny sometimes, or they're so short you can't even do anything with them. It's just like it just feels naturally like part of the story. Although that one seemed a bit rushed, but the Susie ones are very much like it felt like a natural progression of their relationship rather than just like, okay, we need the quota for the hentai scene that they gotta have these many positions and the moaning and everything like that. Looking out for the wooden bus stop, topped by the rusted sheet of iron that only barely keeps the sun out, a bright green expanse greets us. Oh, I like this thing. The lonely cracked roads cut a straight line between the multitude of farms and rice paddies that cover the valley. Multitude of perfect rectangles, the muddy fields rimmed by emblankments of thick grass and going on as far as I can see. I have noticed in this that multiple times the scene shift has been extremely abrupt. There was like not only the ending, but there was a couple others where I'm like, we just skipped like a week, haven't we? And it's just been like really harsh transition. And this was another one. It's like there should have been a little bit of a come down from that scene, and then like we're like, okay, now we're getting ready for the next day, rather than just like, right, we're on the bus. All that breaks up the view are the wooden poles carrying sagging power lines, trees, and the occasional traditional style house for the tirelessly working farmers who live here. Then finally the hills of the valley, rising sharply on either side of the town. They frame the entire village with their lush woods. I'd say memories come back of hiking and messing around in those woods, but that's true of everywhere here. Not one thing in sight doesn't have a memory attached to it. I lived here from my birth to just 3 years ago. Now I'm finally back. It's also interesting because I think in other games, if you like skip the H scenes or whatever, they just completely skip over the whole scene. When this like you still read it and you just don't get to see it, so it feels like more of like the story and like actually like needed for the characters and whatnot. I've come home. What's up? I turned to my two companions on this trip in my expected nostalgia for the place. I've forgotten that it was their reaction that I was looking forward to, not my own. Zuzu can give less of a damn about me, so simply standing wide-eyed at the sight before her. You'd be forgiven by thinking she'd just seen the landscape from one of her computer games becoming real. Even Hisao, despite his attention being on me, obviously has his mind in two places at once. What do you mean? You don't have an excuse to look distracted like we do. He's not wrong. If I had left on different times or even just taken the chance to visit once or twice, perhaps I'd be totally ambivalent about being back here. I see a bunch of farms and woodland, but I see memories of a fate I'd given up on, that I'd wanted desperately to give up on, if only life worked like that. I didn't see him blush, unless you're talking about me. Oh my god, someone's talking in the server. What is this? I was laughing. I like that. Come on, it's not that weird a place, is it? I give it a disarming smile to Hisao, but he doesn't seem to buy the misdirection. It's only now that I realise I've been absent-mindedly rubbing the stump of my left arm. It pretty much is, yeah. I remember seeing places like this in the news, but that's different to actually being here. There's just fucking nothing. Dude, welcome to my life. This is basically where I live. Without the rice fields. Come on, there's plenty of stuff. Like, there's this field and that field. There's even a field over there. Like, farms, the mountains. I didn't even have to, like, that was just a text. And, yeah. Farms and the mountains. There's a convenience store like 14 miles away that we can only get to by walking. The place is full flat. Using hyperbole really doesn't work when they already believe it. I'm joking. There's like a river. Come on, if there are people who live here, that means there's a bunch of stuff to be around to support them, right? Not true. Not true. That's why villages exist. I guess that's true. He doesn't look convinced. Suzu looks like she didn't even hear me, given that she's begun to wander around and taking the sights from outside the little shelter. I'm gonna go, Mimi's. Have a good night. Alright, good night, Lathan. Thanks for stopping by. Or if you've been lurking, thanks for lurking. Thanks for the catty memes. Have a good night, dude. It doesn't take long for her to pick up on something from down the road. Ah, there's a truck coming. Probably Dad told you he wouldn't be long. She skips back off the road to where we're standing, picking up her duffel bag from the chair as the old white Kia truck. I suppose that's a play on Kia. I don't know, unless that is a brand. I don't think it is. Slows down and comes to a stop. The unmistakable figure of my father can be seen taking off his seatbelt and swinging open the door. Right, how scuffed is this Sprite gonna look out of a 1 to 10? And is it gonna be obviously stolen from somewhere? Okay, kind of based. He's definitely from another game. I feel like that's the style of a free-to-play visual novel. He is built like a brick shit house, yes. He's a well-built man by any definition. That in combination with his stubble and his distinct tan from labouring in the fields. Wait, are we just tan? I thought we were like mixed or black. I don't know. She seemed very, like beyond tanned, but maybe she's tanned. I don't know. Will make him an intimidating figure if not for his wide smile. Her cheerful expression is always the first thing first thing people notice about him, and for good reason. That said, he's not all that well kept, admittedly. His hair's cut badly from doing it himself, based. His stubble is shaved irregularly. I feel that. And his fingernails are always blackened from dried mud. Come on, keep your fingernails clean. Dirty fingernails is gross. But that's the kind of person he always was. He loves his work and he loves people. We might have different personalities, but I always felt a grudging respect for his outlook. Hey Dad, it's been a while. He suddenly lunges forward and wraps his arms around me, much to my admittedly half-hearted protest. I try to shout him down for doing it in front of my friends, but he only lets go after giving me a good shake. Good to see you, girl. It's amazing how much you've grown since I saw you. Your tits are huge. I mean, what? I kind of want to joke with him, but I'm having trouble finding the words. It never really hit me how long 3 years was until now. Face to face with my dad after so long. I can only feel a really dumb grin on my face. After taking a breath to settle myself, I clear my throat and gesture to Suzu. Suzu, this is my dad. Dad, this is Suzu Suzuki. She's the friend I've talked to you about. The one I used to think of last, but now I don't. Now I just, you know, fuck about with this guy. She bows deeply to him, which he responds in kind. I wonder if he's trying to mask her shyness about meeting someone new through excessive manners. Pleased to meet you, Mr. Miura. You don't need to be so polite. Thanks for putting up with her for so long. She's a little shit. I know how much of a handful she can be. I try my best. Huh, very funny. Anyway, this is Hisao Nakai. He's the other friend from class I mentioned. I boned him last night. I mean, he boned me last night. Hisao gives a smaller bow as the two greet each other. I haven't specifically mentioned much about what Hisao was like to Dad, but if he's put off by him coming, he isn't showing it. I have to say, by the looks of you, I didn't exactly expect you to be the kind company Miki'd keep. You look like little bitches. Is that a bad thing? Believe me, she could do a lot worse, boy. Anyways, the name's Junichi. You can call me Jun or Junichi. I don't care which. Mr. Miura is too damn stuffy. Suzu's sly look towards me tells me one thing. Like father, like son. Like father, like daughter. Right? A loud clap from Dad refocuses our attention. Now then, who's in the back tray? We can only fit one person in the front beside me. Who's going in the trunk? Me, I'm in back. Hisao reluctantly raises his hand, resigned to his fate. He's a guy. He should be looking forward to this sort of adventurous thing he couldn't normally do. Suzu just shrugs and chooses the front without a fight. To be honest, I didn't expect one. What? Are we like... Wait, I'm confused. Oh, are we in like a trailer? Or like a truck with like the back you can sit in, but it's really bumpy and uncomfortable, and she wants to for some reason. Okay, fair enough. It's like to travel like this, the wind freely blowing past you. Oh yeah, I guess it's just like a truck and she's just sitting in the back. It's like to travel like this, the wind freely blowing past you, the occasional pothole and hump in the road, bumping you up and down. No windows to get between you and the outside road. It's far less boring than being bundled up in a little metal box. Yeah, you can die from this so easily. It's so much fun. Hisao, however, looks like a little less sure of himself. His right hand grips the side of the tray tightly, with his back pressed hard against the cabin. Our luggage sitting between us bumps around loudly as we cruise down the road. I thought we were just there alone, and she's like, yeah, just like a kid on a roller coaster or something, and the other two are just in front, just like being really awkward around the dad. Guess it's your first time traveling in the back of a truck, huh? I seem to be having a lot of first times with you. Yeah. Do you wanna, why? Let's. He might be grumbling, but I think he's enjoying it just a little. It's Botan! It's Botan! As we continue down the road, Hisao's head perks up as we pass something that's caught his interest. Wait, that was a pig on that sign. Probably a boar. We get those around here. Those things. They look pretty cute, right? The piglets, sure. But you gotta be careful though. Boars can be evil little assholes if you piss them off. What did she do? Peep, 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 peep. I can't remember what the sound effect she did was. It was like peep, 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 right? Or what was it? I don't remember. You're the one that was bloody reading it. A pothole in the road gives us both a good jolt, abruptly ending the discussion. My companion looks a little put off. Whoop! I think we just ran over one. Worried? Nah. As time goes on, he gets more used to the experience. By the time we turn off the main road and onto the side streets, it's almost like he's genuinely enjoying himself. With a familiar rumble... With a familiar rumble of breaking wheels and rough dirt, the truck pulls to a stop a few feet from the house. Without further ado, Hisao and I hop off as the doors around the front can be heard opening. It's like I never left. The grey tiled roof still remains pockmarked. What? By the odd leaf and stray broke branch that's settled on it, and the aged wood of the walls serves as a stark contrast to Yamaku's carefully tended to exterior. Glancing through the windows, I suspect Dad's been putting a bit of extra effort into make the place presentable before we arrived. Given that I usually make most of the mess around the house before I left, I doubt it's for my sake. The only major difference I can really say is the vines on one of the corner of the house have grown some more. Given that I've been gone since entering Yamaku, it's like stepping back in time.
So, what do you think?
It's nice. I haven't stayed in a traditional style house in a long time. Likewise.
Well, I'm sure you'll get used to it. Get used to it. Sorry, what's wrong? Feel free to wander around as much as you like. Just be careful around the farm equipment. It will kill you if you smack one it the wrong way.
He quickly walks around the back and dutifully grabs our bags, leaving me to show our guests into the house.
Wow, this sucks.
A good pull sees the door reluctantly slide away with a loud clatter, revealing the entrance foyer inside, with the interior doors having been opened to allow air to circulate through the house. Most of the rooms have this water glass. Dude, I know that this isn't a kotatsu, but man, I want a kotatsu so bad. They're so cool. They're like such a vibe, especially like in winter. You just like snuggle underneath, and you're just like sipping on tea, and it's all nice and cozy, and you're on the floor. A lot of friends have said they felt like Yamaku was home after a few months, but I always felt more like a tourist in a foreign country when I was hanging around the dormitories. A school is a school, no matter where it is, but when you sleep and eat there, it's a very different matter. It could be just because I'm a country bumpkin at heart, maybe it was because of the circumstances I was in when I first entered Yamaku, or just a matter of being in the female dormitories and cooped up with other girls every evening. Either way, for the first time in years, I finally feel like I'm home. Because you are home. Is this BGM a bit loud? Is it overpowering me at all? Is it alright? This one's definitely a bit louder than the others. I quickly take my shoes off to distract myself from my meandering thoughts, with the busily gawking Hisao and Suzu doing the same. It's fine. Alright, fair enough. BRB? No worries, man. Hisao and Suzu doing the same. They hurriedly walk past me and into the main room after depositing their shoes, leaving me to follow behind them afterwards. I had no idea your place was like this. You should have mentioned it before. I just shrug. Yeah, it's pretty great. I looked at Suzu to gauge her reaction, only to see her concerned face staring at her phone. Before I can ask her what's up, she starts wandering around the room haphazardly, barely managing to step around the low table and other various obstacles. All Hisao and I can do is look at each other with these puzzled expressions. Suzu? She continues on as if she'd never heard him, walking around some more before slowly making her way towards the rice paper door leading outside, the sun streaming through. Without a moment's hesitation, she slides it open with her right hand, still holding her phone to her face with her left. As she steps on the tatami floor onto the sunlit wooden porch, she abruptly stops and holds her phone a little higher than before. There's no fucking signal, yeah. I have a bar. Huh? Hisao just hides his face in his hand. It takes me a moment to connect the dots about what she's actually been doing. Never change, Suzu. As I shake my head at her antics, I can't help but notice Hisao smiling. It's not that he does so rarely, all things considered. He manages to put on a wary smile surprisingly often. This time, though, it feels genuine. Or, feels different. It's going to be an interesting time here between being home after so long and sharing the experience with these two misfits. But somehow, I think it's going to be good. The three of us together enjoying summer in the country. What day is it? It's Sunday. It is. A mighty yawn heralds the beginning of a new day. The sun beaming through the rice paper screen gives the room a pleasant level of light as I prop myself up. Rubbing my tired I haven't heard this theme in this game yet, I don't think. Rubbing my tired eyes as I look beside me. It looks like Suzu's already awake, going by her empty but impeccably tidy futon. With my mind still half asleep, I simply sit for a while and hazily look around the room. The walls look kind of bare, with a collection of baseball posters and flags I had out when I was a kid. Now that I think of it, all that's left is a single tatty poster for the local team. As each of my senses fire up, the faint sound of chopsticks clattering reaches my ears. My reaction is immediate, taking to my feet, throwing open the bedroom door, and dropping down the hallway to the main room. Sure enough, I see three people greedily tucking into breakfast after sliding the screen open, the day's morning news blaring from the small television to the side. Is this like... Did we just like... What? Did we just skip like a whole day and this is the new morning? Or was that... Like, did we arrive in the morning? That's cold. Dad hurriedly gulps down the food in his mouth before looking to me, his face hardly apologetic.
Thought you might want to sleep in. You look pretty tired.
I thought he said you looked pretty whilst you were tired or something. He said, sitting next to a narcoleptic. My breakfast waits untouched next to Hisao, who gulps down his miso soup without a care in the world. Suzu and Dad sits on the other side of the table, the former grazing on some rice as Dad gets back to wolfing down pieces of mackerel. Huffing in displeasure, I walk over and take my place, setting myself down with a thud. Neither of the others pay me much heed, beyond glancing over to the loud distraction, stomping around the room. As I start eating, I feel myself quickly settling down. Dad's food is good as always, and it's hard to stay annoyed while having a nice warm bowl of miso.
You hungry or something, boy?
I look over to Hisao. His bowl of soup emptied and his rice quickly whittled down. This is the best breakfast I've had in a long time. I could get used to this.
I'll take that as a compliment.
What else would it be? As we continue our eating, I notice that Dad seems to be in an unusually bright mood. Maybe it's just my imagination. He has always been the upbeat type after all, but something feels different about him. Hopefully he'll be more accepting. Oh wait, no, we're not getting this, are we? Never mind. Maybe the chance to simply share a meal is enough to lift his spirits. Since I've been at Yamako, I doubt he's often had the chance.
So, any plans for the day?
I guess we're largely up to Miki's mercy. Saying that sort of thing might get us killed. You go relax. I was just thinking of riding up into town and taking it from there. On bikes? Do you have enough to cover us?
You can use mine if you want.
That whole thing? Does it even still work?
Probably not.
I find a pair of chopsticks jammed at the air in front of me.
You watch your mouth. I use that old girl nearly every day. Might be getting a bit old. Getting a bit old by now, but she's not been good.
Sounds like it's settled then. We just casually know how to ride a bike. Okay. It didn't take long for us to escape the house after breakfast. When would she have learned? Like, she would have been like 15 when she left. It didn't take long for us to escape the house after breakfast. The urge to explore the area on everyone's minds as Dad went to feed the chickens. With Hisao on Dad's bike and Suzu sits on the back. Wait, oh, they just mean bicycles. I thought they meant like a motorbike. But like, yeah, I guess it's not loud enough to be a motorbike. With Hisao on Dad's bike and Suzu sits on the back of mine, we set a good pace as we breeze along the otherwise empty road. The odd hill or house is all that breaks up the flat expanse of rice paddies on either side of us. Yo, Hisao, you keep help okay, or are you fucking dead back there? Alright, should be fine. I'm guessing you should get a lot of use from these things out here. Sure do, it's pretty much the perfect place for them. Flat, straight, not much traffic, nice and easy just shoot along the roads. You do know where you're going, where we're going, right? Yeah, how about that? I remember this place like the back of my hand. I want to drop by somewhere before we reach town there. Where? As we start approaching an intersection, I drag my head to the left. Follow me and I'll show you. Suzu clutches me tightly as I stop pedaling and let the bike tilt around the corner. This feeling of speed as the air flows past us is great, and going by Hisao's expression as he follows follows us around the corner, he's enjoying this just as much as I am. It's kind of weird of like the way this branched out, because I feel bad that like in like canon, Suzu's like got feelings for Miki, but she can't, like, she acts on them because she agrees to go with her to her family house, but because she's not now, she's just been like, oh, I guess she doesn't like me. This is awkward. This feeling of speed as the air flows past us is great, given by Hisao's expression as he follows us around the corner. He's enjoying it as much as I am. As we right ourselves and end up roughly by side once more, I notice a thin bead of sweat running down his face. He not getting to you? Good. Need water. Glad to hear it. Lots of people complain it's too hot around here. You know, you don't need to worry so much about me. But whether in response or just from a sense of competitiveness, Hisao pushes down pushes down on the pedals and brings himself out of his seat as he surges forward. The bike tilting left and right as he pushes past us with great effort. It's impossible to take that kind of challenge lying down. Hang on, Suzu. Miki, don't! I'm gonna fall off! Ignoring Suzu's protest, I do my best to catch up with the boy. She clutches tightly to my waist, but doesn't seem to be panicking. It feels refreshing to breeze along the roads like this with the fresh air flowing past us and bright sun overhead. It's just like when I was younger, even including when my friends and I would race our bikes. With some effort, I managed to pull alongside Hisao. His face, or rather his smile, takes me by surprise. He barely even notices me as he powers on, his mouth in a wide, childish grin. I don't like that grin. It's too, like, angular. Hisao really does look better when he's like this, finally freed from his inhibitions that he lets himself enjoy the moment. Having arrived at our destination, Hisao and I prop our bikes up against a large tree as Suzu dusts herself off and perhaps tries to collect herself a little. The old school building stands ahead of me, just as it had all those years ago. Mostly wooden, like everything around here. It seems to have had quite a few more bushes planted around it in order for it to not look quite so bare. Slightly puzzled, I absentmindedly tilt my head. What's up? I could swear it looked bigger. That's normal, isn't it? You would have been a kid when you were last here, and now you're taller, you can see it for its real size. I guess. I didn't think I was that much smaller back then, though. It sure is. Homely. It looks a bit run down, I know. This place isn't like Yamako. We got lunch change compared to their budget. I wonder if we could get in.
Yeah, let's break into the abandoned building.
I'm not sure that's allowed. Pretty sure this place would be unlocked. Not you too. What if someone sees us? Relax, it's not like anybody's around. The teacher would remember me anyway. The explanation doesn't seem to settle her, but his house already on his way. It's nice to see my assumptions about his nature proven, his sense of adventure kindled. Welcome back. Knowing she's lost, Susan and I follow up to the door, dirt crunching underfoot as we cross the school grounds. He stands aside to let me have the honor, the old oak door reluctantly giving way a bit of a heave. Hisao and Suzu file in as I automatically tug off my shoes. Only now do I remember that a teacher wouldn't scold me anymore for failing to carefully remove my shoes and slip them into the shoe locker beside the door. Smiling, I slip them in anyway. The floorboards creak as we pass over them, our trio slowly making our way through the hallway as our heads swivel about. Memories of running through these halls echo through my mind. It's only when I almost bump into Hisao that my distraction ends. What's up? I just nearly tripped over this thing. Why would someone put a bookshelf here of all places? He looks down at the conspicuously placed waist-high bookshelf, placed firmly against the wall. Suspecting something, I walk around to the other side and place my hand under the bottom shelf, using my stump to help as best it could. Help me shift this thing. He and Susie look to each other with uncertainty. She just sighs, knowing that protesting would go nowhere. He takes the same position I do on the other side of the furniture, the both of us giving a grunt as we lift it up and set it down a few inches away. Sure enough, there's a hole in the wall about the diameter of a soccer or basketball, beige plastic giving way to a dark abyss, and then someone looks through. It doesn't even look like there's been so much as an attempt to patch the area up. Oh man, that's lame. They just shoved this thing over the hole instead of trying to fix it. Isao leans around the side to say, with Suzu grabbing at the bookshelf's top and levering herself over it a little. Huh, know what happened? Was it you? Hey, not everything is my fault. All I did was hit a ball through the window once. Twice. What was that? A few times. She stares at me, understandably dubious. Twice. See, I do this so many times. I'm just predicting what's gonna happen. Twice. After wanting to have a look inside my own old classroom, Hisao suggested he and Suzu wanted the school ground outside. I guess they're getting bored by now, as immediately the place is pretty bare. To them, anyways. As I sit in the chair I used to sit, I feet up on the desk to relax a little. Fragments of a life I once lived surrounded me. The person I beat up over there, the person I killed over there, the person I broke his jaw over there. The pot plant sitting on the windowsill, always looking like it was on its last legs, but never quite wilting entirely. An old clock on the wall ticking away, a cheerful message still scrawled on the blackboard for everyone to have a wonderful holiday. Even now I can hear the sounds of chatter around me, the teacher trying to quieten us down for the lesson ahead. The smell from that kid who fell into a rice paddy on the way to school, glitter getting everywhere as we made a card for a boy who broke his arm. This definitely wasn't caused by her. A girl crying after pricking her finger as we tried to sew plush toys. Rip. Then there was the baseball team. Nearly all of them were my classmates after all, the best friends anyone could ever hope for. And then there's me. One day chuckling away at another terrible joke from the boy sitting to my side, another making a paper plane and hitting the board next to the teacher. Man, that lit her up. Not to mention that frantic rush out the door every break, tearing outside to mess around, be it sun or snow. And now I'm sitting in a classroom surrounded by silent and empty chairs. Every life has its peaks and valleys, I know that. Times are sometimes good, sometimes they're a little rough. I don't think I'm sad to relive those days, but it frustrates me how I can't put words to what I do feel. Hearing footsteps approaching, I look to the door, Hisao standing smiling, arms crossed as he leans against the doorframe, completely naked. Finished? Yeah, let's go. Dude, imagine you did that. That would be like a bit weird, but kind of based. With hot, yeah. With Susie's enjoyance beginning to flag, the decision was made to save the trip to town for another day. With Hisao and I slowly walking our bikes along the road with Suzu in tow, we make our way towards one of my favorite corners of the town. The apple trees. An apple tree a small distance. Oh, is that Mount Fuji? An apple tree a small distance from the road catches Hisao's eyes and we make our way along, his gaze lingering as we walk. You shouldn't really like eat those because sometimes they're like rotten with worms and, or not worms, with, well, I guess it is worms, right? They like eat the apples and they're like, I don't know. At least like wash them off if you're just gonna pick them because like, I wouldn't do that. Too many like germs and shit in the air. I'm not a germaphobe, but like, oh, I'm good. His gaze lingering as we walk. Okay, this one's too loud. We should have bought some food, but those look pretty damn nice right now. Why don't we grab some? You think they allow strangers just to pilfer their fruit? That's how these things work around here. We don't really worry about money much. I give the dubious Hisao and Suzu a salute before quickly ducking away, leaving Suzu to quickly grab my falling bike. Walking back up to the two of them, I motion for them to follow me up to the tree. Reaching its base and propping our bikes against it, the three of us look up. It's taller than it looked from the road, with the lowest branches far from reach to anyone on the ground. So you're sure we can take a couple? Any as you want, they said. Better us having a feed than letting the birds get to them. Yeah, exactly. That doesn't help if we can't reach them in the first place. Get on my shoulders, boy! Guess someone's just going to have to go up. They both look at me in unison. This isn't good. What? What do you mean, what? I'm surprised you didn't offer to begin with. Well, I mean, there aren't many footholds. Maybe you forgot that I also only have one hand. Since when did you suddenly start using your stump as an excuse? Kinda true. Hisao's bald hand suddenly comes down on his palm. You're afraid of heights! Susie looks to me in shock, but all I can do is cover my face with my hand. Of course he'd be the one to figure it out. Shut up, shut up, shut up. You learn something new every day. I had no idea. Looking up from underneath my hand, Hisao stepped up to the foot of the tree and now looks intently at it. With me out for the count and Suzu unlikely to have the stomach for it, it looks like he's taking one for the team and plotting his approach. With a hop, he starts on his way, plastering himself to the trunk with ease. He nimbly manages to hoist himself further and further upwards, usually with his feet, but sometimes resorting to reefing himself up with his hands where he can't get a foothold. It doesn't take as long for Hisao to follow his plotted course, swinging a leg up over the longest solid branch to straddle it and scooting himself forwards to where the apples are hanging from. Susan and I stare in surprise, both of us suitably impressed at his skill, with the sun shining through the leaves of the tree around him as he smiles down at us, quite pleased with himself at our response. I can't help but think that Hisao looks a little cool. It's not often that I think about him. So, you were a monkey in a previous life, or what? He could be a ninja. That's a good point. You're not the only one who's got up to mischief as a kid, you know. Maybe I underestimated him. I had made a lot of assumptions given that he said he lived in the city after all. So, So how are we doing this? Catching him by hand might be a bit hard. Nah, she was a baseball player. She could catch it easy. Susan and I look to each other. I guess I hadn't thought that far ahead. How is it difficult to catch an apple? Come on. Evidently coming to a conclusion she rather wishes she hadn't, Suzu sighs and she steps underneath where Hisao sits. Taking the bottom of her dress in her hand, she holds it out a little, forming a net to catch them with. If it works, it ain't stupid. Then it like hits on her head, knocking her out. Apparently happy with the idea, Hisao calls out before dropping the first arrow, successfully caught without any problems. He starts twisting off one another, sending them falling to Suzu. With none of us having discussed exactly how many we take, he ends up stopping when Suzu's skirt is reasonably full. Overcome with temptation, I pluck one out and take a bite to see how they are. The answer turns out pretty damn good. I stand there much away as Hisao lets his body roll off the branch, hanging by a hand for a moment to gauge the fall before dropping to the ground on his feet. Yeah. Suzu offers the seven apples. You can only hold 7 apples. Those are rookie numbers. I thought you had like 30. This house collecting. You're not going to be earning any Guinness World Records with that one. Suzu offers the 7 apples in a skirt with Hisao collecting them in his arms after dusting them off. With that, the three of us set off for the creek once more, satisfied with our haul. Depending on how long this day is, I might leave it there because we're approaching 2 hours, and that's I feel like keeping it about 2 hours is good because that's when my voice kind of starts to die a little bit, and I want to keep it so I want to keep coming back to it, which I obviously will anyway, but I don't want to overdo it one day and do like 5 hours. Oh, I think I'll put food on, so I can't stay around for too long. But yeah, I think we'll stop it once we get back to the house and whatever, unless it's like 2 minutes and I'll go a bit longer. I've always Right, we can turn the thing back up a bit now. I've always enjoyed coming here as a kid, and even now I can appreciate it. Water quietly trickles along the small creek, a small bird or two crying out occasionally from the trees above. The place was just large enough to run around with a few friends as a kid, and the pond had enough water to float various makeshift boats. Hisao and I lazily sit with our feet in the water, the boy munching away at the last sips. Where did I get that from? At the last of our food haul while I shook Suzu's hair. Are you cheating on Hisao? What is this? Her head on my thighs as she sleeps. Alright, you get a pass. It's nice to have a chance to rest and cool down. The cool water flowing past my shins, a pleasant sensation. You know, he busily attempts to swallow the bit of food he's eating before continuing. I'm surprised you can ride a bike that well. I mean, without. It's not so hard. It's like when I was undoing your buttons. You pick that stuff up pretty quickly when you have the need. Susie's like, damn. I guess walking around an area this vast would be pretty grueling. What about prosthetics? I noticed some guy with a prosthetic arm in another class. Those fancy computer ones with the mutant fingers are crazy expensive. Tried one of those hook ones. Bro, the hook? That ain't the look unless you're full committing to the pirate look. No good? Exactly. I made a great pirate impression, but I never got the hang of actually using the thing. Never felt comfortable either. Everyone's different, I guess. Just ended up being more of a pain than a help for me. Much to the annoyance of my father and the therapist trying to work with me, the whole fuss is probably part of why Dad thought sending me to Yamaku might be for the best. I still don't know whether he was right. As he finishes the last of his apple, Hisao shakes his finger in the water to clean them before looking to the slumbering Suzu. Peaceful, isn't she? Yeah, then again, the whole town is like that. I still don't get how someone like you could come from such a quiet place. When you're surrounded by nothing, you gotta make your own fun, like killing people. Guess I had it. I'd had it easy with the theatres, shopping malls, bookstores, and all that around. Used to hit up the arcades pretty often. Yeah, I noticed. Did you see those event things often, like companies putting on street stuff, people passing by? You have no idea. People everywhere handing out flyers and packets, bands doing performances, little exhibitions run near the train stations, festivals. When you have that many people so tightly packed together, you get a lot of spontaneous stuff happening. You can just wander around and find something to do, really. Man, that sounds cool. Yeah, it was. After the heart attack, though. I guess there's not much point to that sort of thing when you're alone. Didn't you have friends? You seemed like a pretty well-adjusted guy. Used to. I really hate those words. I recognise that tone all too well too. With Suzu beginning to stir, Hisao picks himself up and takes to his feet, shins and feet still wet from the creek's water. That's another thing that the other arc didn't really explore much at all, was like her thing with her past and the baseball thing. Like, we don't even know how she got that accident, and maybe we'll explore it more in this, since he's a bit more sort of sporty, and it's like sort of had the same thing where like he used to play football, and obviously his condition took that away from him, same as the baseball thing. So maybe that's why it's sort of unexplored. It's weird that it's sort of brought up. It's like, oh yeah, that thing, and it's like, what thing? You haven't really explained it. With Suzu beginning to stir, Hisao picks himself up and takes to his feet, shins and feet still wet from the creek's water. I get a little worried as he staggers a little, his face telling of a sharp pain. It passes in no time, but I remember seeing it once before. You okay? I'm fine, let's go. The house is always so quiet at night, aside from the chirping of crickets outside and my footsteps on the floorboards. There really isn't anything around to make much noise. Not the damn cicadas. It's not that Yamako just like Higurashi flashbacks where it's like in every fucking scene. It's not that Yamako is loud. Quite the opposite, given that the teachers tend to be pretty strict about discipline in the dorms. There's still the occasional bit of music from the rooms around mine, or the chatter of some girls gossiping away a bit too noisily. Pretty sure I heard some suspicious moaning that one time too. I get used to the background noise quickly enough, but it makes the near silence of home a bit jarring. Somehow, despite my eyes only being opened by a very generous interpretation of the word, I managed to notice a faint shadow against the rice paper door leading to the website porch. Oh, we're gonna get another one of these scenes before we end. Alright. I wandered towards the figure out of curiosity. If it's a burglar, I could probably take him anyway. Who the fuck do you think it is? You want some poontang? Sliding the door open offers little surprise. His house sits on the edge of the porch, looking up to the night sky, thinking to himself silently. Turns out he's thinking so hard that he hasn't noticed me at all. Okay, maybe he wasn't. I thought he was like outside the door wanting to come in, but maybe he's not. So hard that he hasn't noticed me at all. It's not until I plop myself down beside him that he turns to see me. Oh, hey. Here I was thinking I was going to be a hero taking down a burglar, and it turned out to be just some dog sitting outside. Sorry to disappoint. Guess I'll have to save the day some other time. So what are you doing up so late? Midnight snack? That's what I call you now. Midnight snack walking around all day makes you hungry. What about you sitting out here all by yourself? But is this supposed to be midnight? It looks pretty like 7 PM to me. Thinking. You don't say. It's just that you don't get a good view of the stars in the city. All the lights make them hard to see. It's crazy how clear they are out there. True. The stars, huh? I look up that. What I read that. The stars, huh? I look up at them as he does, trying to get what about them interests him. All I see are the same stars I've always seen, pinpricks of light in the night sky. They're pretty, I suppose, but I don't really think that's what draws us out. Nah, stars in the sky are like super pretty. I like looking at them. I get the feeling this is one of the main differences between us, beside the different ways we grew up. I only see what's in front of my eyes, the world as it is. His eyes seem to see so much more than mine do, and we just sit here looking up at the same night sky. Even now I can see that childlike wonder on his face, and it's like really romantic as well. It's so quiet out here. Yeah, I was just thinking that. Guessing the city would be different. Out in the suburb it's fairly quiet. The nightlife around some places though is a culture of its own. Is it all seedy and stuff like in the movies? If you go looking for those kinds of places, yeah, they're around, but you get that many people in one place, you're going to start seeing some weird stuff beneath the surface. Don't let your imagination get too wild. I walk pretty down quickly if I ever found myself in those areas. Mainly just stay downtown with all the shoppers and gaming places. Lights and advertisements everywhere, crowds buzzing, music in the air from nightclubs and karaoke parlors. It's just so different to the dead of the night around here. That sounds so cool. We should totally travel to the city over a weekend sometime. Bet Yukio and Haru would have a blast. Yeah, that'd be fun. Lots of those merchandise and manga stores for Suzu too. Getting nostalgic, are we? More wistful, I guess. I click my fingers. Just bloody clap my hands. I click my fingers, finally realising the word I've been searching for all day. That's it, wistful. Huh? When I was in my old school, I was trying to work out how I felt. You finally put words to it. You're welcome, I guess. That said, I feel the opposite right now. Actually, it's been like that ever since coming to Yamako. Every day's been full of new things. It's weird how quickly you get used to being in a school full of disabled students, but everything else feels so new. New friends and teachers, different surroundings, living alone for the first time and all that. And you've shown me a lot of that new stuff as well, roping me into the track club, dragging me out here, and yeah, I guess what, I guess what sex is like as well. What? I was not reading, I wasn't taking that in, I'm just like, what? Oh, you've shown me a lot of the new stuff as well, yeah. Even this night sky is totally new to me, and it's thanks to you that I can be here to see it. He turns to me with that really sweet smile. It's nice when he lets himself do that. Thanks, Miki. I reach over and scrub his hair a little. He really should get that cut a bit. Making my case for me, he tries to straighten out his hair after I remove my hand, only for that familiar misbehaving tuft to flick it back up. He really is a dog. His eyes linger on me a little longer than usual, making me curious. What's up? Well, about something I mentioned. I thought he was gonna be like, saying some stuff. I keep waiting for him to continue, but his awkwardness gets the better of him. A smile slowly spreads on my face as I begin to realize why.
Come on, boy, say it.
Fine. Fine. If you don't want to do it again, I'll just drop it. But could you grab me? Days. Can make me a fucking sandwich, woman. Can you grab me something from the fridge if you're getting a stamp? Son of a bitch. I lunge sideways and bring my stump around his house neck, grabbing it to pull in back to lock him in a chokehold. He struggles for breath and clutches at my arm very futile. Dude, imagine if we're assuming he's gonna have a heart attack at some point just because we're dating him, and that's sort of like how his arc will probably go. If it happens because she's like choking him with his thunder thighs and he just like taps out, dude, that'd be so funny. Or just dies of a heart attack. Like, ooh, how do we explain that? I lunge sideways and bring my stump around his house. Oh yeah, he struggles for a breath and clutches at my arm, but it's futile. He's already dead. God, breathe. Huh? What's that? You want a snack? Yeah, I'm dying. Give me what? Come on, boy. I can't hear you. God, she's a bully. She is really a dummy mommy. Jesus Christ. Woman touch me and die. Yeah, it kind of is like that. As his house face starts to change colour, I decide to have my fun and let go. Oh no. Oh wait, it's just that. 17 views! How is that at 17 views already? Do you guys just have it on repeat? Who's watching that? It uploaded an hour ago. His soul's face starts to change colour. I decide to have my fun and let go. He gasps for air as he rubs his sore throat, but it looks like I haven't done any real damage to him. Yet. You're such a brute. What was that? Perv? Is it you? What are you getting from this? See, you already know what this is about. Sorry, I'm just messing around. You get so keyed up about this stuff, I can't miss the opportunity to tease you, you know? He snorts with displeasure, still rubbing his sore throat. So, you got a rubber? Wow, shit. There's fucking nowhere around here for one if you don't have one. The answer becomes obvious as his face becomes a frown. God damn it, you had one job! Guessing it was too much to ask as he slipped one into his wallet or something. Then again, there are solutions to that problem. Damn it. Since we're like this, maybe there's something you could do for me. And that is... That's what... Oh, I thought we were like, you can do me this time. Please don't. What the fuck? Even in the moonlit night, the red of his house cheeks isn't hard to notice. I shouldn't have asked. Oh, come on, I've only seen your body. That's completely different. Can't you just watch porn if you want to see a guy do it himself? You know porn's completely different from reality. I want to see how a dude really does it. Fine, but how about I do fine, how about I do myself as well? Does that sound good? Okay, mutual masturbation, kind of hot, not gonna lie. He moves to protest, but the words don't come out. It's a little amusing to see him visibly ponder the question now that the scales have been tipped. Eventually, he takes a long, shaky breath. It looks more like an admission of defeat than a teenager getting 18, by the way, getting the chance to fool around with a girl. Isel pulls himself back up to the side of the porch, both of us turning to face each other as we sit. Wait, are we doing this outside? Like, just on the little, like, wooden patio thing? You're not gonna, like, go back to our room or anything? And the dad walks in, going for a midnight start. Oh, you want something? Oh, dear God! And then Susie wakes up. What's all the commotion? Oh my God! And both of us turning in, to face each other as we sit. I guess I got the advantage with my back pressed against a wall for a back rest. It's only now that I realise what I've got myself into. Getting another person off is one thing. You're focused on making them feel good after all. This is, however, the sort of thing I've only ever thought of doing. Thought of being done in private. Of course, I'd just be the same for him. For a brief moment, I tried to... Nah, bro, we got the circle jerk. He knows what's up. For a brief moment, I tried to think of this as simply watching 3D porn. It doesn't work at all. With great hesitation, how is this harder? This should be easier. With great hesitation, Hisal's... It's like porn that interacts with you. What are you on about? Hisal begins to work on his pants, followed by sticks there. His stickers there. I love all the colorful ways they describe like dicks in stories and hentai. Just like literature in general is so funny. Like they've gotta use those wild terminology. It'd be a lie if I said that doesn't turn me on a bit. Being able to watch him do this for my benefit. Could you not stare? That's the whole point, dude. Yeah, that's kind of the point, dude. She took it right out of my mouth. That's the point, dude. The only thing that makes me not sure about writing a story of VNS, I can't write like these people. What, like these scenes or in general? I'm too stupid to have this level of English. I mean, I don't think it's... I don't like when there's just one random word that you've never seen before in your life. It's like, you're just sounding like a dickhead. Like, you're just putting like, oh, yeah, I'm putting this in because I know that's a fancy word and it's never used and nobody knows what it means, but we're going to put it in anyway. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with just having, like, simple day-to-day language. As long as there's, like, variety in it. It doesn't mean it doesn't have to be, like, the most, like, complex words ever that nobody... You don't have to have a crazy vocabulary. As long as, like, there's some variety. I can't commit to a fancy language. Yeah, exactly. He tells his head, and again, like I did when I was trying to write something a few months ago, just you can just use ChatGPT and just be like, just make this sentence more interesting. That's what I did for like everything, and it just uses words that are like, oh yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that, but like it's not really weird or whatever. Like if you needed to, but if you just wanted to write like just normally, then yeah. He tells us, dude, I was thinking about that at work earlier. I was like, man, I'm like enjoying reading this so much. I like want to write my own thing, but I'm like, I will never commit to something. And it's so much more work, especially with the branching paths and stuff. Even though this one is literally just like 2 paths, which is fine. But if you did like a proper one with like 5 people and you had like loads of different options and stuff, it would be a lot of work and a lot of reading that you would never read or you would never find, sort of thing. But man, I was getting itch, like, fuck, I want to write something, man. He tells his head in resigned acceptance as his hand haltingly makes its way onto his I was just sitting there. Fair enough. Okay, yeah, we just... I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I was gonna do a motion. I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, okay, so we're just... Yeah, okay. He's going to town. Enjoying yourself? Sure as hell. You're trying not to shoot too early, aren't you? He probably is, yeah. This still feels weird to do in front of someone. Just go with it, dude. Jesus Christ. Behind me. Listen. Yeah, I was gonna say, if someone walked in, that is awkward. He's just going to town, just gonna spaff all over her face, and the dad just walks in like, who the fuck are you? What are you doing to my daughter? Opening quietly, shutting the door behind me once more. I give the bewildered Hisao only a passing glance. I also love that they didn't bother doing art for this. They just didn't want to. It's like, no, you can imagine it, and there's nothing else. Passing glance as I take a seat right before him. He looks on wordlessly, his being regrettably shortened as he awkwardly comes. Yeah, do be like that. You had one? Seriously? Oh, dude, that's funny. She was playing it. It was like, yeah, I'm stocking up. But I'm gonna get you to do something first. That's funny. As much as I like to make some quip at him, my mouth is full with the voice code gripped on his teeth. Alright, she's gonna do the thing, yeah. Alright. The dog is back. Oh yeah. Giggity giggity. We both just become story writers, and we're a group of 4 with my other 2 friends wrote. Dude, that'd be cool. It's much easier to commit to something if no other people are doing it. Yeah, for real. It's probably just the writer's dog. It's like, hey, smile. You look like you're enjoying this. I don't think I can. Settle down, boy. You just need to go with it. No, I've had my fun for tonight. I set myself off his slowly dwindling rod. That is an amazing line. The 2 of us must look like a dying fish right now. We're both lying on the porch with heaving bodies, our open mouths gulping for air. You're crazy! I was turned on. I can't believe you had one. I have more than one though. You never asked. Dude, true though, true. She asked him and he was like, fuck, I guess we're not doing anything. I guess I'll just jerk off for you. He raises his hand, probably to try and make an obscene gesture at me or something, but lets it flop back to the ground as he... What, with his dick? Wait, what? Wait, what? He finds that unable to muster energy. He just like fucking spins at her. With my senses returning to me, I let my head roll to the side. The stars that his soul has been so wrapped up sit above us, twinkling away. Wait, are we? I thought we went back inside. Can we steal the stars from our room? That's kind of crazy. That doesn't seem right. I thought, did they like go back outside? Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. What's your other 2 friends' situation with stuff? Like, have you tried to write something before, or? As I said, I read that. Realizing that I've stopped panting, his owl looks to me and then to the same stars that I watch. You know, yeah, they're just stars, man. Yeah, but they're pretty. Despite my expecting some joke or some teasing remark, his owl just smiles. I know. That was a weird thing just to see him for like 2 frames. They just proposed it somewhat jokingly, but they're both not entirely against it. One of them is somewhat of an artist, and the other just composes music. We need a coda. We need a coda, and then we can get the gang together. I mean, I'm down to like workshop some ideas, but obviously it would have to be something that like I'm interested in, or everybody's interested in. Wiping the sweat from my brow, I look down at... Oh, okay, yeah. Let's leave it there then. That was a good place to leave. That was a good day. Did I something about, like, the, going to, like, a, somewhere, like a well, I guess it's a family home, so it's a little different. But there's, slight spoilers. There's one in one of the other arcs where you go to, like, this, like this countryside cottage or whatever in the middle of nowhere, and it's so fucking hot. It's like my favorite scene in the whole game. And it's like super romantic, but also like really hot as well. Yeah, right, so we're gonna leave it there.